What is going on, guys? Thank you so very much for joining us right here on Tuesday night. It is Tuesday at Night Titans, episode 136 for your Tuesday, February 24th, 2026. I'm your host, JD from New York. As always, joined by the one and only, the man who puts WrestleMania season in WrestleMania season better than Paul Levesque, the Solid Monster. What's going on, brother?
That's a low bar that you said. I don't disagree with anything that you just said.
Yeah, man, it's pretty shitty nowadays, huh?
Oh man, I'm still waiting. I'm waiting to get on the on-ramp here for this road to WrestleMania.
No, I don't think we've even left the station, man. If we have, we've certainly gotten lost and no rest stop in sight.
My GPS is not working.
No.
It led me astray. You know, sometimes like if you go into Manhattan, your GPS will like lead you into a wall.
Yeah.
Like it just takes in the wrong. That's where I feel like we've been led astray here. We have to try to get back on track.
I don't know if they can do that, but we're certainly going to talk about how they have felt lost all season. So that is definitely on the menu tonight. Thank you guys very much for joining us on Tuesday Night Titans. Before we get into anything, I got to shout him out because this is the second week in a row that he has joined us and dropped a bomb. Our guy Havili from Brisbane, Australia, with a $200 super chat. He's got a couple of questions, as he usually does. AJ Styles being inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame. Thoughts? That's number one. Second question is, if WWE and Playboy were still working together, which woman would you like to see pose for Playboy magazine? Javila's going to get us in trouble, I think. And I meant to say, besides Mankind, which of the Foley characters should have won the WWE Championship? Dude Love or Cactus Jack?
Oh, I mean, on that one, Cactus Jack.
You know what? I'm going to disagree with you. I'm going to go Dude Love.
And I'm going to say you're wrong. That's what I'm going to say. I'm going to say, look, I mean, it was Cactus Jack who was feuding with Triple H in early 2000, and you could have easily put the belt on him for like a month. You could have done that.
Yeah, you could have.
Right? That would have been the time to do it. It was Cactus Jack. It wasn't Dude Love.
Those were the days. Playboy magazine. Which woman today?
I'm going to keep that to myself. I've got three. I've got three in mind, and I'm gonna keep it up here.
Yeah, I got two in mind, Havili. I think I'm gonna follow Jason on that one, man. I don't want to get in any trouble, man. I'm trying to be good out here. And AJ Styles, we're actually
gonna get into that.
Yeah, we're definitely gonna get into that. Yes. So we will definitely save that for the discussion, Havili. But thank you so much, brother. Thank you for being here as always, and thank you for your generosity, Jason and I appreciate it. All right, chat, we're going to get into a few things. It's been a slow week, number one. I know the Chamber is this Saturday. It doesn't really feel like it. And come Saturday, they need to hit multiple home runs. I don't know if that's possible, but I am hoping for the best here. And I said last night, Jason, without any hesitation whatsoever, and I mean this wholeheartedly, and I've given them a lot of grief, you know, I genuinely feel, at least the last 3 or 4 weeks, AEW is putting on better television than WWE. You're looking at me like, I know, motherfucker, I know.
Have you seen WWE television lately? I mean, do you expect me to disagree with you on this?
No, I didn't expect you to disagree with me, but
especially last night. I mean, last night was not only the worst Raw of the year. I have said it's the worst Raw that I have sat through in years. Like it was a bad show.
Yeah.
It was and it was the worst kind of show. It was a boring show. And all you got to do is listen to the fans in Atlanta. You know, Atlanta's a city rich with wrestling history. And the people couldn't be bothered to be invested in hardly anything on the show, you know, outside of Cody Rhodes and AJ Styles and very little else. But this is not a 1 week issue. I've been talking about this on my end now for weeks.
Yeah.
And I see people online, man, how about that crowd last night? Like they're healing on the crowd in Atlanta. Like these people did something wrong. I go, have you been watching the shows? You're going to put this on the crowd? It's like they're looking to blame anybody except the people responsible, you know, for putting on the television shows that you and I are watching.
Yeah, it is not Atlanta's fault at all. I'm not going to sit and blame them whatsoever. I think that's just very lazy of anybody giving that sort of opinion out there. So we'll definitely talk about WWE Chamber, Raw, some of the highlights from SmackDown, which I did catch up on. I thought SmackDown was a better show than Raw, honestly. At least we got pro wrestling on Friday night. We'll talk about Dynamite And obviously, the biggest thing, in my opinion, that happened all week was the Swerve Strickland quote-unquote heel turn. I don't really think it's a heel turn yet. Jesse and I got into a back and forth on it. I know. What does he got to do to turn heel? What are you laughing at?
What am I laughing at? Not a heel turn. I mean, what did he have to do? Did he have to kidnap a family member of yours to convince you that the man turned heel on Wednesday night?
That's exactly what he said. He's like, what is he going to do? Fucking kill him in cold blood out there for you to be... He's a heel.
Dude, he pulled Aubrey Edwards in the way of a V-trigger, and then after he won the match, right, he got that big win that he wanted. He could have left well enough alone. He put another beating on Kenny Omega and tried to kill the man.
He did.
And they went off the air. Took the Young Bucks, apparently, running out when the show went off the air to finally get him away from Kenny Omega.
Well, he listen, I don't know. I have my
That's
thoughts.
not a heel turn?
It sounds like one, but we'll definitely get into that. I thought that was tremendous television on Wednesday night. Looking forward to that this coming Wednesday. We'll dive into that. And we got some Vince McMahon news. The body cam footage of Vince McMahon's automobile accident has been revealed. And he was on his way to a birthday party, apparently. I'm not sure if I believe him, but the police...
I still would like to know, how is it that at 9 o'clock in the morning on the Merritt Parkway, that you could be driving 90 miles or whatever it was.
115.
115 miles an hour on that stretch of road at 9 o'clock on like a Thursday morning. It was like a weekday morning.
Yeah.
How is that even possible?
I don't know. I don't know where he was going, but I don't believe he was going to a child's birthday party at 9 o'clock in the morning. I don't know.
I don't know either. I don't know if I buy that excuse.
We'll talk about it. And we got some quotes from the body cam footage. We got some John Cena news and apparently who he was supposed to wrestle at Crown Jewel and the original plans for number 17. And then AJ Styles was quoted sometime this week that he wanted to retire at the Royal Rumble and not WrestleMania because, and I quote, WrestleMania has lost its luster. No shit, really?
He's not wrong.
He's not wrong.
As the great Bobby Fish would say, where's the lie?
We're quoting Bobby Fish today. Look at that. It's going to be one
That's the only time you'll ever hear me quoting Bobby Fish, but it's such a great quote. Where's the lie? I mean, there's nothing incorrect about what he said.
No, there is no lie there. So we'll get into that stuff. And like I said, Chamber preview predictions, go over what's happening on Saturday. So thank you guys very much. Follow us on social media, everywhere on social media, YouTube, link down below for the Solid Monster. Go and check him out on his channel and on social. Make sure you guys hit that thumbs up down below. Please, let's try and get, where are we at? We got almost 1,500 people in here, right? That's looking good. I know you guys are watching NXT. We got 330 likes. We should be able to hit 1,000 likes tonight. So make sure you guys hit that thumbs up. Helps us out tremendously. Also, after the fact, leave a comment down below. That also helps us out. We love being in the algorithm. We barely hit 39,000 views last week. Not exactly 40, but I'm not complaining. It was a down week, slow week. But you guys are still killing it. That's the norm for us over here. So continue all the great work you guys are doing on your end. We really appreciate it. And make sure you guys leave super chats. That's the best way to support the show. And we'll read those at the end. Questions, comments, concerns, jokes, thoughts, opinions, anything you guys want to get in. We will read them at the end of the show. All right, my friend, where are we going? What do we want to talk about?
Actually, the first thing, I'm surprised he didn't bring it up already. The unbelievable amount of snow that we received here in New York that we are still digging our way out of. I cannot believe that after the snow that we got last time and finally digging out of that we got a blizzard here in New York. And I don't know how it was, over specifically by where you were, but just shy of 2 feet.
Yeah.
Where I am. 2 feet of snow.
Yeah. I got at least 20 inches. Yeah.
Unbelievable.
And
they're predicting more next week.
What?
Yeah. I don't know how bad it may be, marginal, but I'm looking at the forecast and I see snowflakes on Wednesday and Thursday. I'm like, what? It's like, there's no end in sight here.
No, I don't know what's going on. Something's fucked up somewhere. But, it was last week before the blizzard hit that I actually looked outside my front lawn, out the window in the kitchen, and I started to see grass. I'm like, holy shit, we got grass. I forgot what that looked like.
Now you can go touch it.
Yeah, now I could go touch it. Apparently I couldn't do that for at least a month and a half. And then all of a sudden we get this shit dumped on us. Bro, I posted a picture. I took it down because I don't really trust people on social media. But man, the car, oh God, there was more snow on that car than I've ever seen in my entire life. Like
Not the dark horse, I hope.
No, the dark. I promise the dark horse is never going to see a snowflake
Okay.
in its entire existence. But the OG car, man. You know, I shoveled the driveway just so I could get the car out, and then when I took the snow off the car, it was basically enough to cover the entire driveway again. That's how bad it was. I'm like, I can't win here. It's ridiculous. You salt, and then things get cold at night, and then it gets icy, and it's not good. I don't know. How's your car? I mean, I know you park in the street, don't you?
Yeah, well, I mean, it's not going anywhere.
No.
It's thankfully I made sure there was a full tank of gas in there, and I was able to dig it out enough where I could get in and run the engine, but it ain't moving for a while.
Oh boy.
So like I already got my early morning wake up. I'm setting the alarm early tomorrow. I'm putting the boots on, and I'm gonna walk to the supermarket so I get some food shopping done. It's gonna be quite the trek, but
Oh boy.
that's my morning plan. We're gonna go old school. That way, one day I'll be able to tell the story of, back in my day, I had to walk to and from the supermarket to get my groceries.
Did you see the statistic that it was 1996, 2006, 2016, and 2026? Yes. Every 10 years, there's a monstrous storm like we got this year.
Well,
like, you don't find that to be funny? I know you're not a conspiracy theorist, but I find that to be a little weird.
Well, I would say then that we know by what point we need to be out of New York. We have 10 years.
2036. Goodbye, man.
we have 10 years to make it happen and not be here anymore.
Florida, here I come. Don't know what part of Florida.
What about JD from Utah?
Listen, I don't. Do they get 60 inches of snow every year out there?
Well, I don't know about 60 inches. I mean, they do get snow though, so maybe you want to go a little someplace a little warmer.
Yeah, definitely warmer. I want a palm tree, a body of water, and a cold beverage. That's what I want.
Okay. Well,
anyway.
Utah is not where you should be going.
No, I don't want
that's
to be.
The case.
No, I don't think Utah would even have me after what I said about them last year. All right, man. What do you want? What this shitty week, man? What do you want to talk about?
Well, you mentioned his name. I mean, let's talk about John Cena. We'll start there.
Good old John Cena. He said that when he retires, it's not going to take people too long to forget about him. I think we're at that point, but he's still making the rounds, doing interviews, and he's still doing his thing. But he was interviewed this week, and he talked about the crown jewel plans involving Drew McIntyre and not AJ Styles, and then where he was supposed to win and how he was supposed to win number 17. Now, this is coming from the No Contest Wrestling podcast with TJ Henderson and O'Shea Jackson. Good dudes.
TJ Jefferson.
I'm sorry. Typo here. Sorry if he's listening. Typo here. I take notes all week long. I apologize.
Shout out to TJ.
Yes. Two good dudes there. Cena revealed that the original plan called for him to face Drew McIntyre at Crown Jewel. He says, and I quote, "I try to plan it as a year of creative experiences, but you have to be able to pivot." It's his favorite word, pivot. You don't have Rock. You don't have Travis Scott. We're going to do this and this. AJ was supposed to be Drew. We pivoted. We want to have a feel-good moment because they were listening to the data points. They do. It's real, Cena said. The decision to switch from McIntyre to Styles was influenced by fan reception and internal data. Cena noted that while some moments, like a confrontation with Brock Lesnar, drew a negative reaction from the audience, the match with Styles provided the positive atmosphere the company was looking for during the tour. Cena also highlighted his recent interaction with Dominic Mysterio as the highlight of the year. You have the Brock moment, people are pissed off. You have the AJ moment, and things are great. You have this 3-appearance run with Dom, which is fun. Then the ring general. Cena officially retired on December 13th, as you guys know, to Gunther in very controversial fashion on Saturday night's main event, and then he went on to retire AJ Styles at the Royal Rumble. Now, we didn't get that one-on-one match, Jason, between John Cena and Drew McIntyre this past year. Are you upset that we didn't get that match? And if it did happen, would it have changed anything in the trajectory of what we all thought was a lazy year for John Cena's final run?
I mean, it all depends on if it was a one and done or if they had an extended program. I think if they had a multi-match program, it could have been really good. So if I had a short list of people I would have liked to have seen him work with on that tour, McIntyre, he wouldn't have been at the top of the list, but he would have been on the list. But they just ran out of time because they only had him for limited dates, right? I mean, you're not going to take away the match with Randy Orton. That has to happen at some point. CM Punk, we got that match. He had 2 matches with Cody. So with 36 dates, you're only left with so much time. I don't think either one of us regret the fact that they went with that AJ match. I mean, that was just a tremendous piece of business. I'm glad they got to work together again. Could they have changed things up where he didn't get in the ring 2 or 3 different times with Logan Paul? Could they have swapped out the R-Truth stuff? Sure. But it was just a victim of timing and not having him for enough dates. So it's too bad. I think McIntyre would have had fun with that.
Do you think that McIntyre would have worked? I know we look back at it and things, could have been a little bit better, a little bit different. People had their own opinions on how John Cena's final match, the journey to get there, how it would have taken place. And some people didn't like the tournament aspect. Instead of Gunther, would Drew McIntyre have been a suitable final opponent for John Cena?
Sure.
Would you have rather had that instead of Gunther, or do you like that Gunther was the final guy?
I mean, looking back at what they ended up doing, I almost feel like doing something different would have been better just because I wasn't a fan of how it ended. I have nothing against Gunther. I thought he was a good choice. Could Drew have worked in that spot? I think he could have, yes, especially now that he's the WWE champion.
Yeah. Which,
from the sounds of it, was not any sort of long-term plan that they had. It was something that was pitched, and then Triple H thought about it for a little bit. He had to be convinced. And he's like, okay, 3 stages of hell, we'll do a title change. But think about it. Like, if McIntyre came off of being the one to beat John Cena in his final match, and then a month later won the WWE Championship, that would have made a lot of sense.
Yeah, in the short term, it would have made a lot of sense, because now we're all talking about, well, Gunther's got this career killer gimmick, and how many careers is he eventually going to kill before he sees this entire gimmick and this journey pay off for the next guy? Like, how long is that going to be? I would have rather had somebody have an immediate impact, win the championship, and in the process, you're dealing with somebody that had major history with John Cena in his final year. So I feel like it could have actually worked out a lot better, but they ended up giving it to Gunther, and we are where we are right now. And I don't think WWE knows where to go with Gunther. So I like Drew McIntyre in that spot. I am not going to lose sleep over the fact that we didn't get the match, but I would definitely love to see it, because I think they could have done big business for sure. Now, as far as the 17th title win, we know how it happened, and it was one of the worst creative decisions maybe I've ever seen. So John Cena reveals original plans for his 17th WWE World title win. Now, it was at SummerSlam 2021 when John Cena challenged Roman Reigns for the Universal Championship. Reigns was ultimately the one to go over in that match, and Cena was attacked by a returning Brock Lesnar after that match concluded. According to Cena, that was not the original creative plan for that match. Now, this is from the same podcast, No Contest Wrestling podcast. Cena revealed that he was originally booked to win his record-breaking 17th world title that night. The planned finish involved a match restart where Reigns would have quickly reclaimed the gold through nefarious means. However, the booking of Brock Lesnar just hours before the show led to a complete overhaul of the main event's conclusion. He says, and I quote, "In that last moment, we had a surprise guest booked. He came out after the match was over, Brock. They didn't secure Brock until 5 p.m. that day. I was going to win number 17. We were going to have someone come out and restart the match. Roman was going to take it back. Then we secure Brock. Talent Relations comes and says, I need to see you. We're switching the finish. To what? Roman over. Clean. Okay. Let me talk to Roman and Paul." Cena noted that he was fully supportive of the change, emphasizing that the story of Roman Reigns' dominance was more important than his own individual accolades. He credited Paul Heyman for understanding the selfless nature of the decision and worked with Reigns to craft a finish that made the Tribal Chief look as strong as possible. "I said, one spear, that's it. Whatever match you want to have, that's fine. You beat me with your finish once. I love Paul. Paul Heyman's been a great mentor. He gets it, and he recognizes somebody who sees it. It's not about them. It's about the story. This is going to make Roman better. It switched right there an hour before. It happens to everyone. I didn't flip out. It happens all the time. I was supposed to win number 17 that night." Now, you look back at what we got at this year's WrestleMania, and you listen to this story, whether it's true or not. I mean, we'll leave that up to John Cena and whoever's listening to this if you believe him. But looking at what we got this year at WrestleMania, Jason, I don't think there is another instance that fans are listening to that wouldn't say, you know what, I would have loved to see it happen here. And instead we got it where we got it this year at WrestleMania, this past year at WrestleMania, which was the worst way to win number 17 in the history of title wins. What do you make of what he said here and the way that this was supposed to come about?
I think that would have been every bit as bad as what we got last year. I think it's terrible. I mean, think about it. Like, this is a record-breaking 17th world title. And what he's saying is that he would win it and then basically 90 seconds later would drop it right back to Roman. Do you know how terrible that would have been? That sounds awful.
It sounds awful, but it goes in line with what John Cena. I don't think John Cena ever wanted to break the record to begin with. Kind of goes in line with.
You should have said that to them. I don't think he cared. I really don't. I don't think it was that much of a big deal to him. If it was, I think he would have said to them, "Look, this is something I think that we would like to just kind of leave to Ric Flair," and I don't want to. I don't get the impression he ever said that. He's a guy who's willing to do whatever the company thinks is right for business. Right? He's a company guy through and through. But I think in this case, of all the championships, for it to be number 17 and for him to win it and then quickly lose it in that way would have been awful. Like, that would have been terrible. So I'm glad that didn't happen. Not that I'm happy we got it the way we did last year, because that was also terrible. But like, why is it so hard to craft a story around the big 17th title win? Like, and I'm sure you did the same thing on your end. We were heading into last year in the big John Cena final year. In our heads and on our platforms, we were probably all fantasy booking how they could do it. How do you get to 17? Is it at WrestleMania? Is it at SummerSlam? Right? I had my own thoughts about doing it with Cena and Gunther at SummerSlam in New Jersey at MetLife and crafting a story around it and building to this great moment. It doesn't seem that hard. Why is this so hard? Like, look at what they were going to do, supposedly, and look at what they did. And, like, that's the best they could come up with for number 17. I'm just floored by this.
You know, I think the idea that we ran with, I think a lot of us in that time period where we were talking about it right here on Tuesday night, is SummerSlam. Cena, I think the last time, before he came back, what was his last match? Correct me if I'm wrong. Against Solo Sikoa in Saudi Arabia, he lost. Yeah. He took like 4 Samoan spikes. You know, he was on a losing streak.
Samoan spikes, dude. I think didn't he take like fucking 8 of them or something?
Whatever it was. Yeah, number. He took a many Samoan spikes.
Yeah,
and he was a loser at that point. He didn't win a match for many years. So it's like there's a built-in story right there, and you pitched it perfectly, where you bring him back, and the struggle to win is the story. And he loses, and he loses. I would even book him at WrestleMania and have him lose to whomever the WrestleMania opponent would be. But after WrestleMania, then he starts to turn things around. Maybe somebody talks to him. Maybe he seeks guidance from somebody. Maybe Randy Orton or someone, CM Punk. And he starts winning matches. And he wins matches, and he wins matches. And he's like, he gets back into that championship feeling where Gunther is the champion, and he beats Gunther for the world championship, depending on where SummerSlam would be booked. It was in New Jersey. I think that would have been a great story. But to answer your question, why is it so difficult? I think you answered your own question. They don't give a fuck. They don't care. It's all business and all money to them, and they don't really take the art of the sport to be fun. They don't take the story of the sport and the stories that are told within the sport to be fun. It almost feels like an inconvenience to them. But I don't know how the fans are booking better storylines than the people that are actually running the business themselves. That's the part that I don't really understand. And then we're the ones that we get made fun of, and we get blamed. Why are you complaining? Because you guys fucking suck at your job. That's why we're complaining. I don't understand. It just seems like it would be, but dude, it just seems like it would be the easiest story in the world to tell.
And I don't understand that they just would have thrown it away. Like in 2 minutes, it would have been gone. That's it. Let's just get it out of the way and do it. No fanfare, no nothing. And that would have been the end of it. And it's like, wow. I mean, it just blows my mind that you had a room full of people. And I guess Vince was ultimately the one who was making the calls back then. But you have a room full of people coming up with ideas on how to go about doing this. And this should be such a great story to tell. And to just throw it away like that is just ridiculous to me.
I don't know. If Vince was in charge there and he originally made that decision and then plans change, I don't know why Vince would even do that with Cena. I thought Cena was better protected than that, but I don't know. I'm tired personally of hearing anything about Cena and the stories that he's telling about what ifs and what could have been and stories of creative back then and what they should have been. I don't care no more. You know, after this year, I'm really focused on WWE getting their creative right going into Mania this year, which honestly, in my opinion, is trending worse than last year. And I don't even know how that's possible. But we'll pivot here, using one of John Cena's favorite words from last year. We'll pivot to WWE this year. And I guess we'll start with SmackDown. SmackDown wasn't bad. Now, I know we were at the HOG show on Friday. Did you catch up with SmackDown on Saturday? I know I was one of the very few that went back and watched it on Saturday, believe it or not. It's easier to watch speeding through it, but did you catch anything that you actually liked on Friday night?
I watched the show.
Okay. Any takeaways at all you wanted?
Well, a couple of takeaways. So I was encouraged by what they did at the beginning of the show because it seemed pretty clear to me they're going to have to find a way to work Jacob Fatu into that title picture heading into WrestleMania. I don't, at this point, I don't see how they don't work him in there in some way. And then looking at what they did at the end of the show, you know, Aleister Black got a win over Randy Orton. Is it going to really amount to anything? Probably not, because the focus really wasn't him. The focus was Drew McIntyre getting involved. But I do think that this is building in a direction where, and we'll talk about it when we get into the Elimination Chamber stuff, but Randy Orton is, I think, going to play a vital role in that show on Saturday, and then play a big role when it comes to the title picture heading into WrestleMania.
Yeah, to me, that was the biggest takeaway as well. The whole, you know, these accounts on social media, I don't know, like, why people even fall for this shit. One guy was like, Aleister Black is going to be added to the WWE title match along with Sami Zayn. It's going to be a six-way scramble. I'm like, no.
Where did you see this?
I see it on social media.
Oh, well, gee, you know, what account were you looking at that would have even pitched something ridiculous like that?
I don't remember the name. I don't know. I seen Aleister
Who
Black.
are you following on social media?
Bro, it's in the recommended section. It's not that I'm following anybody.
You're in the wrong feed, brother. You got to follow the people that you're following, not the people you may know or the people that you may like. Like, that's where you just get into all the conspiracy theories and all the ridiculousness of social media. You're on the wrong feed.
Regardless, Black and Orton is not a WrestleMania match. Okay, that was the discussion coming out of last week's SmackDown. A lot of people were like, well, they got this thing going on, and there's dialogue between them. You know, Black, and I think it's pretty safe to say, because I know we touched upon this last week as well, Black is basically carrying Cross, and Zelina is Scarlett. That's exactly what they're the bargain basement version of what WWE didn't want to bring back last year. That's what they've boiled them down to. So I feel like Black is going to play a part. This is what I said on my Saturday stream. Black is going to play a part in bringing out the old Randy Orton. And I mentioned last week, and I told you, and then you replied to me, well, Randy Orton doesn't have to win the Chamber. I think Randy Orton needs to win the Chamber to give the WrestleMania main event, night one, a feel of like, you know, I don't see it as a traditional main event, Cody, Drew, and that's it. Jacob Fatu, we love Fatu, and I think him adds a lot, but I still don't really look at it as a WrestleMania main event. If Orton wins the Chamber, and from what we see is happening, McIntyre is basically digging his own grave. He's stopping Cody, stopping Fatu. He hit Randy last week. Aleister Black won it because of Drew McIntyre's interference. McIntyre is basically going to pay for his actions, and Randy Orton's going to win the Chamber. Cody is not going to get to WrestleMania, but Cody's going to get to WrestleMania because Nick Aldis is going to say, you know what? Because of Drew McIntyre's nefarious actions over weeks and weeks and weeks of nonsense, I'm going to add Cody and Fatu to the WrestleMania main event. It's going to be a fatal four-way. Orton's going to have a problem with that, and Drew McIntyre's going to have a problem with that. And I feel like at WrestleMania, we're going to be getting a fatal four-way. That's the way I see it playing out.
So you're going about, I think we are going to get a fatal four-way. Yeah. But I think you're going about it all wrong. The idea that Randy Orton has to win the Elimination Chamber is a fallacy. He does not have to win the Elimination Chamber. I know we're skipping ahead here. We want to get into the...
Sure, I guess we'll get into the Chamber. Yeah.
We'll touch on it here. So, like, Cody and Randy are in the Elimination Chamber. All right? They're two of the six men that we have the full field, and we'll get into everyone else who's in the match. It almost doesn't even matter to me who's in the match beyond Cody and Randy.
All baby faces, by the way. Yes. Actually, no.
Trick Williams is
Trick
in there.
Williams, yeah, okay.
Trick Williams is in there. And you know what? It's fine. It's fine because Drew McIntyre is a heel champion. So I guess the more baby faces you have in there, then in theory, the more unpredictable it is. So that's fine. The way I look at it is the Elimination Chamber, it really comes down to two guys, Cody Rhodes and Randy Orton. And I think Cody Rhodes wins the Elimination Chamber because we know that Cody Rhodes is going to the title match at WrestleMania. But I think that's that moment. That is the trigger for Randy Orton. And when that chamber is over, the chamber doesn't end with Cody Rhodes celebrating a big Elimination Chamber win. The chamber ends with Randy Orton dropping Cody Rhodes with an RKO and possibly a punt kick. That's what ends the chamber. And to add to that, because you mentioned Fatu, right? Fatal 4-Way. Fatu should be involved. We still have not gotten a resolution to the question of who attacked Jacob Fatu.
But we
he
did.
Thinks it's Drew No, we didn't. No, we didn't. He thinks it's Drew McIntyre. Drew McIntyre has time and time again said, I didn't do it. If I did it, I'd be gloating about it. I'd be saying it to your face. As much as I'd love to take credit for it, it wasn't me. And then we haven't heard anything about it ever since. And, we just found out, by the way, this past week that Jacob Fatu, when he was gone, after his dental surgery, he had 11 teeth pulled from his mouth. He said that on Busted Open Radio. He didn't say why. He just said 11 teeth he had removed from his mouth. Okay, so it was a major surgery. And if you remember the angle, his teeth were laying on the floor because somebody kicked him in the fucking face. So I think Randy Orton, he drops Cody Rhodes at the end of the chamber, and then shortly thereafter, because we still have 7 weeks left to go until WrestleMania, we are going to get the reveal that it was Randy Orton who attacked Jacob Fatu and put him out of action. Now you have a connection with all 4 of these guys, Drew, Cody, Jacob, Randy. Now you have a reason for all 4 of them to end up in a match together at WrestleMania, because not only does Cody want to get his hands on Randy Orton, but now Jacob Fatu realizes, holy shit, I had it wrong this entire time. This fucking guy kicked me in the face with a punt kick.
So they just add Randy Orton because he's the one who attacked Jacob Fatu?
You're going to be in the same situation no matter what. If Cody doesn't win, we know he's going to end up in the title match. There's always a way to figure out, like, okay, how do we add more people? The fact that we're even in this position, by the way, I agree. Like, the Elimination Chamber is the match that is supposed to determine the number 1 contender. We're talking about a 3-way, a 4-way. This is WWE's fault that we're even in this situation to begin with, because ain't nobody want to see Cody Rhodes one-on-one with Drew McIntyre again at WrestleMania. You have to add more people to this. And realistically, the match is not going to be one-on-one Randy Orton against Drew McIntyre. I'm sorry. That's not going to be the match either. So, yeah, you're going to have to figure out a way to get these guys in there somehow. But if Randy Orton pisses off enough of these guys, believe me, there's always a way for him to get worked into the match, and he ends up in there. And I even say Randy Orton walks out of WrestleMania the WWE champion.
Sure.
I don't even put the belt back on Cody yet.
No.
I let Cody and Fatu chase Randy Orton.
No, that's a terrible idea. Cody being the champion. Cody being the champion is a terrible idea. That's
yes. I was going to say, what the fuck are you talking about? I think it's a great idea. But no, see, so we all arrive at the same destination, but I think you're going about it the wrong way.
No, I like what you laid out there. My question to you, my follow-up question to you is, you do the heel turn at the Chamber and not at WrestleMania?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Why not? You do the heel turn at the Chamber, and then shortly thereafter is when we get the reveal that he was the one responsible for the Fatu attack. Because if you're like, and this helps too, because if you're worried that people aren't going to fully embrace a heel Randy Orton just because he dropped Cody Rhodes, you might actually get cheered by some people for doing it. I would think to solidify that heel turn, you do the reveal that it was him behind the Jacob Fatu attack, because people like Jacob. And then I feel at that point, more people will come around to the idea like, oh, okay, this guy's, we got to boo him now. Like, I don't like what he did to Jacob. It's one thing for him to drop Cody, but he did this to Jacob too. Now you really establish him as more of a heel. And you have heel Randy Orton going into WrestleMania in the 4-way match. You got babyface Cody. You have babyface Jacob. So you got 2 babyfaces and 2 heels in that match.
See, the way that I had pitched it, I like your idea a lot. The way that I pitched it is McIntyre's not going to be defending the title on Saturday. That he would find his way into the chamber somehow, because normally WWE loves the gimmick of like someone gets eliminated, the door is open, someone from the outside who's not in the match gets into the chamber and then fucks shit up. I thought that would be Drew McIntyre here to take out Cody Rhodes. And I had the idea of maybe playing off what Sammy didn't do, Randy is going to do to Cody. And Randy's going to take advantage of Drew McIntyre claymoring him in the cage and then pinning him to win the chamber. That's why Randy wins the chamber, and we continue Drew McIntyre, fucking Cody Rhodes up and Jacob Fatu up and ruining their chances. And then they get added because Nick Aldis has had enough of all this nonsense and just adds them because they gotten robbed. Now, I listen, either way, I think we both get to the same thing. Like you said, we get a fatal 4-way, but the attacker angle I haven't really given much thought personally because I just thought WWE did what they usually do best, and that's just kind of glance over it and think that McIntyre was the one who did it because Jacob Fatu mentioned it, and that was it.
Yeah, well, you took him at face value. To me, Drew McIntyre being the culprit was the most predictable way to go with it. But you're just assuming that he was the one behind it. It was never actually established with certainty that he was the one behind the attack. All he's ever done is deny it. He never admitted to it.
That's going to be interesting. They need something major to happen to generate interest, and if that is it, I will take that for sure. Other happenings on SmackDown here, not much. We got the Chamber qualifiers. We had Charlotte Flair, Kiana James, and Nia Jax. Were you surprised to see Kiana James advance over Charlotte Flair?
I was. I like the finish. I thought
the finish was very clever. Yeah.
Yeah, the way that she kind of slid under the figure eight and then crucifixed her over. So I thought that was a clever finish. And I thought the best match of the night was the men's qualifier, that Trick one. I like that match. But I was surprised because here's something I've noticed. All of the women that have qualified for the Elimination Chamber, the ones that have tag team partners, none of their partners are in the chamber with them.
No.
That surprised me. Because you would think, why wouldn't you at least have one pair of partners, maybe two pairs of partners? You're taking away all of the potential drama there now that none of their partners are going to be in there with them. So that was surprising to me. I thought Charlotte and Alexa at least, Rhea and Io, and we don't have any of that.
No, I said that I think Kiana James has a lot of upside. I think she moves well. I think she gets in there and she actually wrestles. I like her a lot more than several others that WWE just called up so far from NXT. Does it make it a little bit more predictable as to who's going to win the Women's Chamber? Because if you look at the field after what we got last night, and Io did not qualify, do you look at the same thing that we just talked about with the men, with the women, that it's just going to come down to two people? It's going to be Rhea and it's going to be Tiffany. Or do you give Alexa Bliss a shot in the dark of winning this thing on Saturday?
No, I'm predicting that Alexa Bliss is going to win the Elimination Chamber.
Really? Okay.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Because I still think the end goal here is to get Charlotte Flair in there with them, and it's going to be a triple threat at WrestleMania. If you look at the field right now, Jade Cargill, who is the obvious person to put in the ring with her? It would have been Charlotte, right?
Yes.
Maybe Rhea, but I don't see that. I think Rhea's going to be attached to whatever Io's doing. So realistically, it was Bianca if she was going to be able to make it back in time, which she will not, or Charlotte. And they teased it again on Friday, right? Charlotte was coming out, Jade was leaving, they had a little tiff, and then Charlotte got eliminated. And Charlotte was playing it cool in the back later in the show, I'm okay. I lost, but I'm okay. She was about to explode, but she kept it cool. So the way I look at it is, okay, well, what do you do now, right? What the hell do you do with Jade at WrestleMania? Well, Alexa wins the chamber. And again, it's another situation of an Elimination Chamber winner winning, and yet somebody else is going to be worked into the match. But, it's what happened with Charlotte and, Becky and Ronda a few years ago where they kind of worked her in there. I think it's the strongest possible match you could do. You take the Charlotte-Alexa story and you weave that into the title match. You have Jade, Charlotte, and Alexa. And Jade ends up leaving WrestleMania with the title because I just don't see them taking the belt off of her.
Yeah, it makes the most sense. I actually danced around Alexa winning last night on my Monday Night Raw review because if you look at the field, obviously people are going to be like, oh, Rhea's going to win it. Or Tiffany's going to win it. Now, if you look at both of those choices, Rhea's still one half of the tag team champions. They'd realistically have to take the belts off of Rhea and Io this Friday and put them on Nia and Lash Legend for even that to make sense. And if Rhea gets the title match and wins the chamber against Jade, what do you do with Io at WrestleMania? I said maybe they go Rhea and Jade, take the belts off of them Friday, put them on Nia and Lash Legend, and then they could do whatever they want with the Bella Twins at WrestleMania. And then I looked at Friday. It was supposed to be Julia and Io. They didn't do that match. They did Rhea and Julia instead. So I guess I'll pitch this to you. Do you see Rhea potentially winning, going against Jade, and then they do Io and Julia for the United States Championship at WrestleMania? Or is that completely not?
I don't see them having a women's U.S. title match on the WrestleMania card.
Yeah, that's the whole point. Yeah.
The point that I made on my end is they made an announcement this week that Clash in Italy is coming on May 31st.
Yes.
And no WWE fan would even know this, but I mean, Julia, I think it was her, God, was it her father, I think. Her father is Italian. So she grew up there for a few years in Italy. It's kind of interesting. Her parents ran an Italian restaurant. She worked there. So like she's got ties to Italy. It would be kind of interesting if maybe they did the match on that show, where they gave her like a big title defense on that show, and maybe it was a match with Io at the end of May. I know that's still a ways off, but it's hard for me to envision them actually saying, hey, you know what? Let's have Julia in a singles match on the WrestleMania card. Like what, in the way that they have used her over the last several months, is there anything to give you any realistic indication that she is in line to actually get a singles match on the WrestleMania card?
No, but she's been booked a little bit better than she has been in her first United States title.
She has. And maybe the fact that Io would be in there because they love Io.
Yeah.
Maybe Io is the reason for her to be on the card. I'm not saying it's impossible. I'm just saying I could potentially see them wanting to give her a big PLE match maybe on that show.
Yeah.
And I'm not convinced that she's going to have, unless it's some sort of multi-person match, I don't really see her being on the WrestleMania card.
Yeah, the whole reason for my line of thinking was keep Rhea and Io away from the tag team title vortex. I think that is so beneath them, and that's exactly, if Jason's prediction is correct and Alexa wins the Elimination Chamber and Rhea and Io go to WrestleMania, they will still be tag team champions and will probably lose in a multi-woman effort. Some sort of match put together by WWE, which I mean, last year they had match of the year, potential match of the year, and this year they'll be in a fucking tag team title vortex. So I was trying to avoid that. And then Tiffany, she hasn't really factored into anything. She came out number 30 at the Royal Rumble. She's a former world champion. Who wants to see Jade and Tiffany again at WrestleMania? That would be terrible. So if Tiffany's left off the card, I'm not going to lose sleep over because she really hasn't factored into anything. Honestly.
Yeah, but she is back, though. And they had her in a match with Alba Fire on Friday. Like they're trying to, kind of feed her some wins to build her up for something. Maybe it was just to give her momentum going into the Chamber. I don't know where she fits in, though, if she doesn't wrestle Jade. I agree. It's not a match I really care to see. We already saw it a bunch of times. But like if Tiffany isn't challenging for the title, I don't even know where she would be slotted on that show.
I don't think she gets slotted, period.
She might not. I mean, they haven't even hinted at anything as far as her, beefing with somebody else on the roster.
So that's the women. And what happened coming out of that? Kiana James is in the chamber, and Charlotte Flair is not. Tama Tonga. That's a big, not really a big, but it's a little story that they got brewing on Friday night. It looks like, Jason, I don't know if you feel the same way, they may be breaking him away potentially from the MFTs.
This is all that I really was asking for with the MFTs, is some sort of story or some sort of character development with some of these people in the group. We've gotten none of it. And so now at least it's a small thing, but at least here we're getting something, right? You saw the segment later in the show with Nakamura in the back where, and Nakamura's like, fight me again, but leave your, what was his line? He goes, leave your family tree in the forest. I love it.
Yeah.
So it's something, it's something that they're doing with Tama Tonga, which I think is great because it's just better than these guys being background players. And I commented even on my show, I said, I have already forgotten what JC Mateo's voice even sounds like.
Did you see?
When was the last time
you see who was it? Will Ospreay? Somebody. Kind of Kyle Fletcher, MJF, burying fucking JC Mateo for no reason on social media.
Yeah. He was catching strays online. But I forgot what he even sounds like. It's been so long since I've heard him like in a backstage segment or a promo. These guys just come out there and there's just no development of any kind. So we're getting a little bit here with Tama Tonga. I'll take it.
Yeah, I said on Saturday when I covered the show, outside of Solo, I think Tama Tonga's got the best look out of everybody in the group. I think he's got the best, I don't want to say charisma because he's just a hard ass, but he's got something that the other guys don't. I think he's a little bit more entertaining than the rest of them. I think he's very well put together for his age. And outside of everybody else in the group, Tala Tonga, we haven't heard him speak. Tonga Loa, a waste, and JC Mateo. I mean, he's far from his days of Matanza. So
Yeah.
It's just awful television. That and the Wyatt Six and the Uncle Howdy stuff and the fucking Lantern. So that's a one-on-one match on Friday. So if you guys are tuning into Friday, you'll be seeing the Battle of the Lantern on Friday night between Solo and Uncle Howdy. Anyway, moving on with the rest of this show. Other than that, that was basically all of SmackDown. They still got Obafemi feuding with Kit Wilson, reading poems on Friday night.
Well, Obafemi is feuding with multiple people. He's feuding with Kit Wilson. He's going to be wrestling Rusev soon. So he's got issues with people on both shows. And yeah, we'll see if I don't know if there'll be a third match with him and Kit Wilson, but who knows? Maybe they'll run it back again and we'll get another one. I don't know. But he's picking fights with different people.
Yes, Kit Wilson said that when he looked into Obafemi's eyes, he saw a big cuddly teddy bear.
Riveting.
It's quite the content on Friday night, huh? Anyway,
Well, I mean, look, you got to fill 3 hours somehow.
We got to shout this guy out before we go any further here. My guy Phantom with a $200 super chat. Oh my goodness. He says, happy that you're back in House of Glory, JD and Solo. Stick with the crap that is WWE. 6 to 8 hours a week, and most times it seems like it's a waste. Anyways, I got a nice glass of bourbon. Old Forester, 1870 original batch. Cheers, JD and Solo and the rest of the community. That's to get another round of applause, Phantom. Thank you, brother.
Oh, that's quite a drink he has there.
That's what I call TNT appropriate, for sure.
I wish I had some of that.
Yes. Thank you, Phantom. Thank you very much, and thank you guys for being here, man. Really appreciate you guys. So that was Friday Night SmackDown. We shift gears to Monday Night Raw. And this is where things get a little agitating, and I know I was a little over the top on my end.
A little bit.
Yes.
A little bit agitating.
Yes. Are we going to see the Angry Monster come out because of how terrible this show was?
Oh, the Angry Monster showed up last night.
Okay, good.
Oh, yeah.
Good.
Oh, yeah. It's amazing because I came into that show last night when I looked at the lineup. It actually looked pretty loaded. And I was like, okay, this should be a good show. You know, it's a go-home show, but they have this lineup. Brock's going to be back. We don't know what he's going to be doing. The AJ tribute. We get a couple of qualifying matches. Like, this should be good.
Yeah.
And boy, was I wrong. Boy, was I wrong.
You know, bro, they had 12,000 fans in attendance last night. It felt like 12.
Could have fooled me.
Now, apparently people are blaming the fans. We were talking about this in the soundtrack. The people on social media were blaming the fans for being a terrible crowd last night. What do you have to tell those people?
What I have to tell those people is, are you going to hold to account the crowds over the last 3-4 weeks? Because this is not the first time that this has happened. This is now you can call it a pattern officially, because this is becoming a weekly occurrence here on Monday Night Raw. So is it the fans' fault? Or maybe there's something else going on here, and maybe you're placing blame in the wrong place. I think the fans are sending a message is what they're doing. Now, these fans are still spending ridiculous amounts of money to buy tickets to go to these shows, and then they end up sitting on their hands. And so you have to ask the question, why? Do I think part of it is that, and I've talked about this before, part of it is they have chased away some of the hardcores, and you have people buying tickets to these shows who are casual fans. And they're there to see the stars. They're not there to see Maxxine Dupree. They're not there to see El Grande Americano, right? They pop when Cody Rhodes comes out and they want to do the whoa, and they pop when CM Punk comes out and when something really, really big happens, and then they're just dead silent for everything else. That's part of it, right? It's just the makeup of the crowds may be a little different than it used to be, but that's just a small part of it. Like, the people will tell you what's working and what's not. This should be the most exciting period of the year for WWE. When you look at the calendar, the road to WrestleMania, as they call it, right? This right here should be the most exciting time of year. And right now, it feels like we're in September or May. Does it feel like we're in the middle of WrestleMania season right now?
You know, you mentioned those two time periods. Those are slow. I say it feels like we haven't even left December. Honestly.
Well, at least in December, we had the John Cena retirement. We had something in December. They made $6.5 million on that one Saturday night's main event that John Cena had his last match on. But like right now, and I understand Elimination Chamber hasn't happened yet. And so coming out of the chamber, my sincere hope is that things will pick up in a big way once we get this show out of the way. And then officially the next show is WrestleMania. We're not there yet. Because remember, WrestleMania is a little later on the calendar than it would be, right? It's like kind of late April. But I'm looking at these crowds and I'm like, I was probably the same way at first. We probably had a week where it was quiet. I'm like, man, this crowd's dead. By the time you get to like the 6th or 7th week, you can't blame the crowds anymore. There's something else going on here. And all you have to do is watch these shows. I don't understand how somebody can watch that show and be honest with themselves and watch that show last night. And when the show is over, and forget the AJ Styles stuff. We're going to talk about that. That was a beautiful moment at the end of the show.
Yeah.
Right? It was a great ending to the show. Put that on the side for a second because that had nothing to do with Elimination Chamber. Right? This was the final Raw to get you excited for the Elimination Chamber. And the two biggest things on the show were Brock Lesnar and AJ Styles, who have absolutely nothing to do with the show in Chicago this weekend.
Yeah, it's certainly an eye-opening situation. I can't really add anything to what you said because everything is correct. I hated last night's show. I had people in my chat which were dispatched easily because they were like, "Why are you complaining? Everything is so negative." The show sucks. The show was fucking terrible. Like, look at the Elimination Chamber and look at the effort that WWE's put into the chamber. Most of the qualifying matches have been predictable. A lot of the championship programs right now aren't going to really pick up pace until we get to WrestleMania, and CM Punk is in a middle-of-a-road program with Finn Balor. Drew McIntyre's not even on the card. And then we got a fucking mystery crate, which is the biggest happening that's happening on Saturday because everybody wants to know what the fuck is in this thing. If it's Jericho, if it's Danhausen, if it's Triple H and a statue of himself that he's going to put on Raw every week so we can, praise him every single week. I don't know what it's going to be. But the chamber build has been terrible. And they've put little to zero effort into anything, and that's including the Royal Rumble. And I feel like with everything that we've gotten coming out of last year, they should be a company that is ready and willing to take the world over and take the world by the balls and just say, fuck it, and give us the best wrestling product that they can, because they once upon a time did. And they feel like a company that is lifeless, soulless, directionless. And I don't know what is with Triple H and his mentality, his creative mindset, but everything is just like, wait. And I don't know if he is thinking about like the ultimate WrestleMania season in totality, or he just wants to cherry pick specific
Riyadh
weeks.
Season.
Yeah, specific weeks where it's like big things are going to happen, but like 6 or 7 weeks, there's nothing happening. Like I said last night, and the point I wanted to make, Jason, was like, you got to give me fucking something. Like the biggest takeaway from last night's show to me was Brock Lesnar show up on the show, and he hasn't been seen since the fucking Survivor Series. We haven't seen him since a Royal Rumble, sorry, which I honestly forgot because it was so unimportant. The Royal Rumble, which he played a non-factor in, he was eliminated in the most fucking absolute nonchalant fashion possible, and you bring him to the show for a specific reason. We know he's not going to be in the chamber. But he shows up there with Paul Heyman. He dances around. He's starting to poke fun at himself because the last time we saw him on Raw, he fucking slipped in the aisleway. And he gets into the ring. He's bouncing around. And we see his schedule for the upcoming road to WrestleMania. So you bring him to Monday Night Raw to theoretically give us, hey, people, here's Brock Lesnar's schedule. Come out and buy tickets because you're going to see Brock Lesnar 6 times this WrestleMania season.
Yeah, but look what they did with him last night. So, like, what are they telling you to do? To buy tickets to see Brock Lesnar come and do absolutely nothing like he did last night?
Yes.
Isn't that the worst advertisement that you can? But you didn't even mention the worst part of that segment. So they're out there. Paul Heyman's doing all the talking. And Paul Heyman is talking about, we really haven't had that big attraction at WrestleMania outside of whoever's in the main event since Brock Lesnar conquered The Undertaker's undefeated streak. So basically, we're going to have a new attraction at WrestleMania, which is going to be the Brock Lesnar Open Challenge. We have an Open Challenge at WrestleMania now. And he's talking about, like, there's no one in the back that has the guts to come out. And what do you hear the crowd chanting?
Oba.
They're chanting for Oba Femi. Now, do you know what the segment was before Brock Lesnar and Paul Heyman came out to the ring?
Yes, I said this exact thing last night.
Oba Femi. They showed you he was live in the building. He was backstage with Rusev and Adam Pearce in the segment that came immediately before this one. And they're out there throwing an open challenge out. and the crowd is chanting this guy's name. And I'm like, if he wasn't going to come out, why would you establish in the segment prior to this that he was there? Why would you do that?
This open challenge, it doesn't even make any sense. It really doesn't, because the guy that we all want was in the building last night, like you said. And what is the purpose of this? Is Brock Lesnar going to show up for the 5-6 weeks that he's on Monday Night Raw to issue an open challenge and no one comes out until WrestleMania? But if the guy that we all want to see him wrestle is there in the building every single fucking week, what's the point of the open challenge? Well, my point was, you got these guys there, get the open challenge answered immediately, build dialogue, promos, segments, maybe a match where both of them can get into the ring together, contract signing, whatever the case may be, instead of doing what, Jason? They're going to wait for Obafemi to show up at WrestleMania and waste 6 weeks of television?
Well, either that or what I figure, and maybe they're going to wait until Mania. It's possible. But what I figure is I think the next time he's on television is 3/16 in San Antonio. And then I forget where they are the following week. And then the week after that, they're in Madison Square Garden.
Yeah.
Maybe they're setting up something for the Madison Square Garden show. And so in those initial 2 appearances, somebody does come out to answer the open challenge and he lays them out. And then the next week, he lays them out.
Who? Otis?
It doesn't matter. It could be whoever, some fucking jabron. He's going to lay them out. It doesn't matter. No, it'll be somebody from the Raw roster. But then finally, when they get to the Garden, maybe like Obafemi accepts the open challenge, and they wait until then and they establish the match. Like in my head, like trying to make sense of like what they're doing here, that would make at least in terms if we don't even know if Oba's the guy. Okay, we're just assuming. And the fans certainly were hoping to see him come out because they teased it at the Royal Rumble.
We're assuming because the company can't be this fucking stupid to not give us anybody but Obafemi. That's why.
Yes, when they've established that they can, in fact, be that fucking stupid. So I don't know why we're giving them the benefit of the doubt here. But if we are to assume that he will end up being the person, maybe that's the way they're going to go about doing it. But like that segment last night, it was such it was a lazy way to go about doing the segment, but it was such a waste of time. It was so transparent. They just wanted to put his schedule up on the screen so they could sell tickets for all of his upcoming appearances. And all I hope is that in these appearances that are coming up, and there's 5 of them, they go a hell of a lot better than the one last night, because that may have been the most pointless Brock Lesnar segment that I have ever seen. Now imagine, like, if you bought tickets, they started advertising him a couple of weeks ago on their social media channels, like he's coming to Atlanta. I don't even think they ever mentioned it on TV. And so people buy tickets maybe in part because they want to see him. Some people don't give a shit about him, but some people might. And then he shows up and does that.
You do realize that the potential for LA Knight to enter this open challenge, because if he's not teaming with Seth Rollins, if Rollins is not back, which again, we have no idea if Rollins will be back for WrestleMania. If Rollins isn't back for WrestleMania, LA Knight has nobody to wrestle at WrestleMania. You do understand that. So LA Knight realistically could be the guy that answers this open challenge, and Dave Meltzer proven correct.
It could be. That's why I said we're assuming it'll be Obafemi, and the fans last night were assuming it was going to be Obafemi because they started chanting his name. But you're right. It could end up being LA Knight, which is a match that I don't think anybody, I mean, it would get him a match on the show. I guess it becomes a question of like, is LA Knight better off not having a WrestleMania match? Or is he better off being on the card and getting squashed by Brock Lesnar?
He's better off not even being on the card.
I think he's better off not even being on the show.
I know that would anger the LA Knight enthusiasts out there, but listen, man, you got to take wins when you can get them, okay?
Yes.
So yeah, that was just an awful segment. It's just corporate WWE rearing its ugly head again. Just awful greed. I was pissed off at that, but the show actually started all right last night. Gunther kind of quote unquote hijacked the show. Adam Pearce had him escorted out of the building. Dragon Lee attacked him. That's a match booked for next week, which I hope to see a slaughtering of Dragon Lee next week, which maybe will set up Gunther's WrestleMania match because we'll be post-Chamber, and maybe we get Gunther and Rey Mysterio being planned for WrestleMania because that's the only thing I could possibly think of. Not that I'm excited about that or anything, but that's the only thing that makes sense. So they had Gunther escorted out of the building. Dragon Lee attacks. Cody Rhodes is out there. Vision comes on out there. Pre-Bronson Reed injury, which we'll get into. Yeet Man comes out. And then we get the Elimination Chamber qualifier, final one for the men's, which Jey Uso won. He was not supposed to win according to WrestleVotes because they put a tweet out immediately last night when the injury occurred. Bronson Reed was very much the winner of this match, because that made the most sense, because I think we all assumed that the masked man would rear his ugly head inside the chamber at some point to cost the Vision a final spot at WrestleMania. But all of that went out the window, Jason, because Bronson Reed, he broke up a pinfall, which looked like the most fundamental way you could break up a pin. He lightly dove and broke up a pinfall, and he tore his bicep. And Corey Graves, the announcement that Michael Cole made on Monday Night Raw last night, Corey Graves put his fucking head in his hand. He's like, he couldn't believe it. I mean, that was basically all of us at the same time. He tore his bicep. He did not return when the spot happened. Jey Uso was given the win via audible, and he gets into the Elimination Chamber. Now, I know you've been saying for a little bit now that the Vision is cursed. Rollins is out. Braun Breaker's out. Bronson Reed's out. The original version of the Vision is all on the disabled list. There is no
the New York Mets of WWE.
It's basically what they are. We're left with Paul Heyman, Austin Theory, and Logan Paul. Now, I'll start with the injury. I know we talked about previously, Cody Rhodes has been lobbying for more house shows to get people more reps. I know injuries occur at any given moment. This is a very unpredictable sport, but I don't think anybody expected that in that moment with Bronson Reed. What was your reaction when you found out this guy was injured?
I mean, I was gutted for him because, I mean, think about it. This is the second time now that he is injured ahead of WrestleMania, and he's going to miss Mania.
Yeah.
You know, that's what happened when he came diving off the War Games cage, and he shattered his foot, and he missed Mania. And it's going to be the same case again here. And it was such a fluky thing, too, because if you watch, and they showed it in slow-mo, and he kind of dove back into the ring, and he dove onto the pile as Gable was attempting to pin Jey Uso. And he kind of like was rolling onto his left shoulder, and his right arm, I was waiting to see if it was like hyperextended or something. It didn't really look all that bad, but as soon as he got back to his knees, like you could just tell the way he looked at his arm, like, okay, something, like he knows something is clearly wrong here. And then the match just came to a total standstill at that point because the referee was trying to communicate with Gable and Jay and probably feed them whatever the new finish of the match was going to be. And the reports say that Bronson Reed was supposed to win. He was supposed to go to the Elimination Chamber, and I'm sure inside the chamber the masked man would have appeared in some fashion and probably screwed him out of the match. Where that storyline goes now, I have no fucking idea. I mean, that storyline just seems dead to me at this point. There's no real purpose to it because Reed was the last guy he was the only guy who had not yet been screwed over by the masked man.
What do we need a masked man for? They're taking themselves out.
I'm not saying it's a funny situation, but I said like the shoulder demon was on vacation, and so now we have like the bicep demon who unfortunately bit Bronson Reed last night, but then later in the show I saw Xavier Woods with his arm in a sling, and apparently he has a shoulder injury. So I mean, yeah, the demon lives, but it's just one of those fluky things. What did he do? He didn't do anything. He didn't do a high risk move. He didn't fall down in such a way where he would have broke something. It's just one of those, it's a fucking fluke injury, not all that dissimilar from what happened to Jake Doyle on Dynamite several weeks ago when he tore his bicep, and he's going to be gone for a while as well. So it sucks for him. It sucks for whatever plans they had for the Vision and Seth Rollins. This just throws everything now into a state of uncertainty where, frankly, I just think they should just disband the entire group. I mean, if you want to have Paul Heyman with Logan Paul and Theory, that's fine. But the Vision as we know it, I mean, it's over. It's just, I don't even see, it's a tag team now. You're down to a tag team. Unless they just throw a bunch of new people in there because we just have to recycle new people to get them in there as quickly as possible. What is even the point of the Vision at this point?
There is no point. I mean, I floated that idea. Maybe he calls up a couple of NXT upstarts and we get a new Vision. But at this point, I think the whole group is a dead commodity. You know, I heard what Bully Ray and Dave LaGreca said today on Busted Open, and they were saying that you could salvage this storyline. The only way that you could salvage it is if, A, Rollins is cleared to go for WrestleMania in the next couple of weeks, so we get him on TV building towards whatever is going to happen at WrestleMania, and then WWE, by some fucking miracle, gets Bad Bunny. Now, I don't know how Bad Bunny can factor into this outside of what's been said between him and Logan Paul based off the Super Bowl halftime show. And Logan Paul said, I'm not going to be watching. So
I mean, that's the idea. I think that's the idea I pitched a couple weeks ago. Was a tag team match.
Yeah, they mentioned it today on Busted Open, and I'm like, sure, that works. It gets WrestleMania a big match. It gets Rollins on the card. It gets the remaining guys in the division, which you could kill off there at Mania, and then Bad Bunny, the celebrity appearance at WrestleMania. But I mean, that would be theoretically it. And then Rollins, when Braun Breaker comes back, has a built-in story there because of what happened there. I don't know if there's anything left that they could do elsewhere outside what I just mentioned there, right?
I don't know. I don't know. It doesn't sound like Braun Breaker is probably going to be back in time for Mania.
No.
Rollins, I think the belief was that there was a pretty good chance Rollins would be. But even if he is now, what do you do with him? You could have Rollins against Logan Paul. I mean, we've already seen that before WrestleMania. No. You can't just run that back again.
No.
So it would, if you want to get Logan and Austin Theory in a match on the show, it would almost have to be a tag team match, and that's where LA Knight comes into play.
Yeah.
Where if Rollins is back in time, he and LA Knight, they don't like each other, but we could finally put a period once and for all on this LA Knight Vision nonsense, and have Seth Rollins pair up with LA Knight, especially if he's not wrestling Brock, he's got nothing to do on the show, and they wrestle Logan Paul and Austin Theory.
Zero Kaiba in the chat says the pop would be insane if Bad Bunny is revealed as the masked man. Why would he be the masked man, though?
Yeah, like Bad Bunny is running around with all the other shit that he does with a fucking mask on his head, curb stomping members of the Vision and running away. I would say that's probably a bad idea.
If they don't get Bad Bunny and Rollins is going to be at the WrestleMania show, LA Knight is more than likely his tag team partner, which is a positive because it keeps LA Knight away from Brock Lesnar. And then we could get Obafemi and Brock Lesnar. But I don't look at that tag team match as a WrestleMania match. They're certainly going to have to add some sort of stipulation behind it.
It's not a WrestleMania match, but I don't blame them in this situation because it's an injury issue. They were besieged by injuries, and so sometimes, I'm going to use your favorite word, you have to pivot, and you have to come up with a different idea. If it happens this way, this is not their original idea. Like, I'll cut them some slack on this because who would have predicted this? Rollins, Breaker, Reed, all hurt in advance of WrestleMania. Nobody could have predicted that.
No.
But it is kind of weird, though. Ever since Rollins faked that knee injury last summer, the Vision has paid the price for it.
You mean tell me karma's a bitch, huh?
They have been snake bitten like no faction that I have ever seen before in my life. It is insane. But you look at the silver lining here. They have been booked as the top heel faction on Raw. I've been tiring of the Vision.
Yes.
And so now it's going to force them to go in a different direction and come up with some new creative for some of these guys, and maybe it opens up opportunities for other people on the roster. So you got to look at it. You got to look at it that way.
Do you think this opens up a door for Austin Theory to actually prove himself to be a main event guy now?
I mean, he might get the opportunity. I don't see it.
No, the group the group certainly hasn't helped his cause. No,
I don't see him breaking out as a main event guy on Raw. No. I'm sorry, I don't see it.
Well, Jey Uso's in the chamber. It was supposed to be Bronson Reed, according to WrestleVotes, and Uso is in the chamber. So get ready to run it back at some point in the chamber. So that's the plan there. Liv Morgan, she made her WrestleMania decision. I actually thought this was a decent segment. I'm glad that WWE, thanks to my chat last week, they transcribed the segment last week, which WWE failed to do. This week they actually, I didn't see it there. I saw the transcript, the captions last night on the show. So I'm glad to see exactly what we were hearing. But I enjoyed that sit down, and Stephanie really showed a different side of her there to Liv, and Liv was very visibly upset. We come to this week, and Liv was saying that she listened to what Stephanie had to say. It sat with her all week, and Jade was out there because they invited her Monday night to hear this decision. And she ended up attacking Stephanie Vaquer, hit her, and laid her out with the microphone. Stephanie sold the shit out of it, which looked great. And Liv made her choice. It's now Liv Morgan versus Stephanie Vaquer for the WWE Women's World Championship at WrestleMania. I think we both knew this was where they were going, Jason. I don't think anybody was interested in Liv Morgan and Jade Cargill. But what do you make of this match? Are you excited to see what these two ladies do at Mania? And does this feel, just in name value, because we still have some time to go for them to flesh out a story, hopefully, does this feel, just by their name value, a WrestleMania-worthy matchup?
No. I mean, I'm not really... It's not... a lot of this stuff doesn't feel WrestleMania to me.
Yeah.
So, I mean, they've got 7 weeks to sell me on it. And that's not even a knock on Liv Morgan, honestly, as much as it is on Stephanie. And this run that she's had so far, it's been very underwhelming. I mean, they just have not done a whole hell of a lot with her to get her, I think, to a point where it feels like, okay, this is like a big championship match on WrestleMania. Like it just doesn't feel that way to me. I feel like ever since she got called up to the main roster, everything's been handed to her very quickly. And there's been no struggle. So she won the championship, and then she won the Crown Jewel championship. And there was a period there where we weren't even seeing a lot of her on the show. And now we're heading into WrestleMania, and it just feels cold. You know, it feels cold to me.
Yeah, before that, she was actually NXT Women's and North American champion at the same time.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, she one right after the other. I mean, they've been feeding her championships ever since she came in. I do think at some point there has to be some sort of struggle that she has and a real story where she has it taken away from her. She's got to scratch and claw and fight to try to get it back. I'm watching that segment last night, and boy, like what a hell of a night for Jade Cargill. I mean, the easy night at the office for her. She shows up, and Liv Morgan attacks Stephanie, and Jade is like, "All right, peace out."
Yeah,
and she leaves. I'm trying to say, like, who had the easier night last night? Was it Jade or was it Brock? They probably just passed each other in the hallway backstage and like fist bumped and just smiled at each other.
Good work tonight, coworker. Thank you.
Good job.
Yeah.
Good job there. Yeah.
It's par for the course for Jade Cargill. I don't know. I agree with you. It doesn't feel WrestleMania. You know what would have made Stephanie Vaquer feel WrestleMania? A match against Rhea Ripley, but we're not there. So they'll probably have Rhea Ripley in the tag team division, like I mentioned before. And again, the creative is very, very sorely lacking going into Mania. Nattie, I never heard a crowd as quiet as they were for this Natalya and Maxxine Dupri match that ended in 90 seconds, which, I don't even think it's worth arguing over. It's just WWE finds pleasure in ruining shit. Because Nattie developed, like you did say this last week, that Nattie developed a nice string of momentum for herself by showing a different side of her, a different character, and changing some things that desperately needed to change as far as her character work. She owned it, and then WWE gets a hold of it. They allow her to do it, and then, you know what? Fuck this, man. We're just going to do what we want with it and ruin the whole thing.
They half-ass it. They don't go, and this is what I feared. When we talked about this months ago, and the idea that maybe this Bloodsport Nattie gimmick, bringing it to the main roster, bringing it to TV, I'm like, I don't know. Because I don't trust them to really invest in it in a way where they're going to make it feel like, okay, this is something special. And what did they do? They changed her music, and now they shoot her from the back when she makes her entrance, right? So that's like a little something different. And then the bell rings, and up until last night, she had not won a single match since she had this character makeover. And I said, if you want people to buy into Nattie as some sort of killer, all of a sudden, she has to at least start winning matches. So this is already a failure. Then I watched the show last night, and she won, but she won in a way where I couldn't even sit here and be like, okay, she won. She won, but she lost. Because this was terrible. The way they did this was awful. She kicks Maxxine off. They're fighting outside the ring. Maxxine then slams into the ring post casing in the weakest way possible. Like, she takes a bump that we see every single week on this show, and she drops dead on the floor.
And she became a fucking meme.
She became a mannequin. Like, her body is not moving. She's face down on the ground. And I'm like, what happened here? Like, did I miss something? And then they showed a replay. I go, oh. I said, that's what caused that. Okay, no wonder the crowd didn't react. And then when the referee threw the match away, oh my God, of course the people booed because it was just so ridiculous. Like this, it was embarrassing.
They booed? You heard sounds coming from Atlanta. I'm shocked.
I actually heard audible tones coming from the people in the audience. So I know there was a pulse there. But they booed. Yes, this was a failure in every way. And basically, and it's not premature to say this, and it's not a knock on Nattie at all. Like, no. I wanted to see this succeed, but I think it's safe to say this is a fail.
Yeah.
And this is exactly what I feared. At the very beginning of all this is exactly what I feared. And it's playing out right before our very eyes. It's not helping Nattie get over it all. It's not helping Maxxine. Maxxine actually feels like she's regressing in all of this. At least when she was with Becky Lynch, Becky was trying. She was trying to pull something out of her, and Maxxine was getting promo time in the ring, which she had never gotten before, and now it's just like she's sliding backwards. This is not benefiting anybody, and if you're not going to put your full effort in, if you're not going to put your best foot forward and you're going to half-ass it like this, then don't do it at all.
But they put so much time and effort into Maxxine beating Becky and holding the title and becoming her own woman, only for her to then go into a feud with the one that trained her and then get destroyed in 90 seconds on multiple occasions. How is this building anything for Maxxine to be a better individual coming out of this?
It's not. It's not. They lost interest. That's it.
I don't know.
That's it. You don't have to reinvent the wheel here. It's pretty obvious what's going on here. It's dead in the water.
Some of the worst television that they're producing is the MFTs and the Wyatt Six. This is right underneath it. Absolutely.
Because their way of storytelling, at least when it comes to the mid card, I'm like, there are very few. I'm not saying there are none, but there are very few really compelling mid card stories right now. And maybe, I don't know. Like, name what you think is your favorite or number one compelling mid card story in WWE right now. Do we have the Jeopardy theme? Can we play the Jeopardy theme in the background?
We don't need it. I'm going to go they've moved away from it a little bit. It's not something that happens every week, but the tension between Balor and the Judgment Day,
which has been playing out for quite some time now. So we're waiting for the payoff there. Okay.
Speaking of which, Dominic hasn't defended the IC title since he's gotten back from injury, since John Cena at Survivor Series.
Well, he's going to defend it next week.
Okay.
I believe this is going to be Penta's 7th or 8th opportunity to challenge for the Intercontinental title. So the question is, does he finally win the title next week?
No. The answer is no.
The answer is no. Yes.
Yeah, it's very difficult to even think about a mid-card story that even resonates with you.
There aren't very many.
No.
They don't know how to tell stories in the mid-card because they either don't know how or they don't care enough to. It's very surface level stuff. Like the stuff that we are getting, it's very, very basic. It's like the most basic storytelling that you could possibly come up with.
Man,
it's awful.
I wonder what the annual pay is for a WWE creative writer. It's like they take half the fucking year off and don't do anything. I don't know.
I mean, it's like it's like Brock Lesnar.
It's basically what they do. They're on a part-time schedule.
Roman Reigns, yeah.
Royal Rumble, WrestleMania, and SummerSlam. That's it. Every fucking 3 months out of the year. 9 months, goodbye. We're on vacation.
Well, don't forget, for the 2 years he was off television, he was being paid by WWE and TKO the entire time.
Oh, my God. Punk, he was out there selling his match with Finn Balor, which, again, Punk is a good promo, but what else needs to be said? He talked about what ifs, the what ifs in pro wrestling.
What if they knew how to tell a good story here on Monday Night Raw? He didn't say that.
What if Triple H actually completes a storyline without fucking dragging it out and pretending like it needs 9 months of build? I don't know.
It's what we do, JD.
I know.
What we do.
He did reveal though Roman Reigns is back on television next week. That's a plus.
He returns again. Another return.
Yeah, another
okay.
return. Yeah.
All right, cool. So he'll be in Indianapolis next week. I know the fans booed that when he mentioned that because, of course, he wasn't there last night. Actually, they started booing, and he's like, "You're booing me." He goes, "I'm here every week. I'm making every town. I'm defending my championship." The Punk promos that we've gotten this year, like he cut that promo on Braun Breaker ahead of their January 6th match or whatever it was, and that was very good. And then there was, of course, the segment with Roman, which was the best TV segment on Raw all year. And then we had a little face-to-face with him and Balor a couple weeks ago. So Punk has really been hitting all the high notes here with his promo segments. But even he couldn't save this show.
No.
Because what is left to be said? He's addressing Roman Reigns, who isn't there until next week. And that match is still 7 weeks away, 8 weeks away. And Finn Balor, I mean, Balor had a pre-tape promo that aired before this. He wasn't out there with Punk. What is left to be said? And you know what was sad? There was a point during the Punk promo. God, I wish I remember what line it was. God, what did he say? He said something and he paused for a reaction from the crowd. And there was no reaction. And he waited like a good 10 seconds. And it like every second that went by felt like minutes. And I was like having secondhand embarrassment. Well, I mean, we weren't even reacting to Punk.
He gave a lot of what ifs. Was it one of the what ifs that he gave out?
No, you know what? I'm gonna bring my notes. I need to know what it was that he said because it was so embarrassing. Hold on a second. Let's see if I can find it. Here we go. Yes, it was one of the what ifs. He goes, reality is Roman Reigns is going to be here next week in Indianapolis. What if he doesn't wait until WrestleMania and I punch him in his stupid face next week?
Yeah.
And it got like a very light reaction, but he was waiting for something. And like, dude, 10 seconds went by of just nothing but silence. It was embarrassing because clearly he thought it would get a bigger reaction than it did. But people are like, what do you want them to do? Like, what do you want? You want them to jump up and down? Like, what are they supposed to do? Like, this shit is not exciting. No, they want Roman Reigns there. He's cutting a promo on a guy who wasn't even there.
You could lump CM Punk and Finn Balor into the 100% predictable outcome bin come Elimination Chamber. Nobody expects Balor to win the championship. So hopefully Triple H has got some good storytelling on tap for Saturday. So we need to see some progression in the Judgment Day story. Maybe he gets jumped. Maybe they finally kick him out. I don't know what the case is, but something needs to happen there. So that's
there was somebody in my chat last night and I don't know if I would do this, but they suggested that they close the show with Punk and Balor, which I guess you can make the argument for. It's Chicago, and you would expect Punk's going to get a hero's welcome. But you close the show with that match, even though we all know how it's going to go. If the idea is to end the show with a big angle where McDonough and Dom come out and they end up attacking Balor and kicking him out of the Judgment Day. But then I thought about it. I'm like, why would they do that when Dom has this big title match coming up on Monday? And he just got done telling us last night, like, I need your help. I need you guys. Like, why would... I don't know if the timing makes sense, but if they were going to shoot that angle, do you close the show with that? Do you go off the air with that?
No, I'm closing with the men's chamber.
Yeah.
I'm going with whatever.
You're not closing with the crate?
No, we'll get into the crate.
They closed with Cody's Soul last year. You need to tell me the crate is not good enough to close the Elimination Chamber?
Yeah, we'll get into the crate in a second. We got some news on the crate here. Io, she did not qualify for the Elimination Chamber, which, and depending on who you talk to, probably not surprised at this outcome. Raquel Rodriguez advanced. She's in the chamber. Were you shocked that Io didn't make it in, Jason?
I wasn't shocked. I think I may have said on TNT last week, like, I could see Raquel getting in just because it was trending with mostly baby faces, and at least they get a heel in there with her. So I wasn't shocked. I would not have done that because it's crazy to me that you would intentionally leave Io Sky off this PLE.
Yeah.
But I mean, I knew Kyrie was going to be the fall girl. I mean, that was pretty clear. So I wasn't shocked. It's just not the way I would have gone with it. And I like Raquel. I don't have an issue with her being in it. I would not have kept Io off the show. I would have at least had one tag team that would have ended up in there, and then you can kind of play the drama card there between them.
Yeah, no, this was a decent match. I'm not upset that Raquel got in. I think Raquel's had a very good time being in the Judgment Day. She's developed quite nicely on Monday Night Raw. 11 minutes, she beat Io and Kyrie to advance in the chamber. So we'll see her in there with Rhea, Alexa, and we got Kiana, Asuka. Tiffany, Asuka's in there. So it should be a good women's chamber. Last year is going to be tough to top, but last year
I thought was the best women's chamber they've ever done.
Yes. The men's chamber last year was good too. So both chambers have their work cut out for them this year. Next week, before we get to the AJ Styles tribute, they got Monday Night Raw set up for this. Dominic Penta, IC title on the line. Gunther versus Dragon Lee, and Roman Reigns once again returns to WWE. The new era.
Will he have a new OTC shirt?
Yes.
OTC 2?
OTC 2, WrestleMania themed. Yes, they got to get him ready for his next 7 weeks of work before he takes another 4 months off. AJ Styles. This was what the whole show was built around, obviously. And they had a great video package before AJ came out there. It was highlighted by Creed's Higher.
I thought of you when I saw Creed was playing. I said, "Oh, this is JD's favorite band here." He's in it. The only thing that could have topped this was Linkin Park, Linkin Park video. Which, by the way, have you opened the CD that I bought?
I've opened the CD. I haven't put the CD into a CD player yet.
Well, what are you waiting for?
I'm waiting for the nice weather so the Mustang could blast the tunes of Linkin Park. Hybrid Theory.
You should be blasting it in the kitchen as you cook dinner at night. You don't have to wait to get in your car.
I have nowhere to play it. You bought me a dead technology. That's what you did.
We get a fucking boombox off eBay. It probably costs $20.
We'll play it in the Mustang. I'll take a video of it for you. We got this AJ Styles tribute, which was great. This is WWE's bread and butter. Creed, Higher. The 3/4 of Alter Bridge. I'm not a fan of Creed, by the way. And this is not their best song, by the way, for the Creed enthusiasts in the chat. Higher is not their best song. Their best song is What If. Just throwing that out there, okay?
I could use that song for the CM Punk video package then for Elimination Chamber.
They certainly could. It's nice to hear Tremonti on Monday Night Raw, though. AJ Styles, this was a very genuine segment, and WWE, Jason, they had him retire in Saudi Arabia. They had him lose to Gunther in Saudi Arabia at the Royal Rumble. Having him come out, I talked about this on my end last night. Having him come out the following Monday, where it was primarily focused on Gunther getting the heat and kind of rubbing it in everybody's face. I'm glad that they gave him some opportunity here to speak in front of the audience. And, we don't really look, I don't look anyway at the schedule and what cities they're making the rounds in. And Atlanta came up. This was a great opportunity to get him out there in front of his friends, his family, his hometown, and just get him the respect and the whole emotional tie behind it for him there. This was as genuine as a segment WWE will do all year. He talked about his wife and, the fact that his time away from the kids has been something that's been very difficult for him. He's missed birthdays. He missed graduations. He's missed ball games. He went over everything he's basically talked about in the lead up to this. And, his wife, she held the family together. He really highlighted her, saying that she's really the best thing that's happened to him outside all the championships and people saying championship this and all the accolades in pro wrestling. That is the biggest thing in his life, his wife. And they were all sitting front row. He mentioned that he's had to watch them grow up on FaceTime. And he finally took the gloves off and the vest off. And he said he didn't do it at the Royal Rumble because he wanted to take them to his house. And he wanted to sit with them. And then he wanted to take them off at home here in Atlanta. And that's exactly what he did. So he takes off the vest. He takes off the gloves. He says goodbye to everybody. And then the familiar gong goes off. And the lights go out. Everybody brings out their cell phones and lights emanate the arena. And then out comes The Undertaker to Kid Rock. And he rides down to the ring on his motorcycle. He gets into the ring. And The Undertaker's playing this type of gimmick now where he's basically the Grim Reaper without being the Undertaker character. He comes to induct people into the Hall of Fame instead of taking them away and fucking killing them off.
And putting them in body bags.
Yeah, he's
putting their career in a body bag instead.
He just comes and inducts people into the Hall of Fame. That's his new gimmick.
This is going to be his new gimmick now where you see him sneaking around the corner in the supermarket as one of the wrestlers is shopping and they're like, oh shit, he's coming. I'm not ready yet to go in. I was watching this going, man, because I do genuinely believe that they surprised AJ with this announcement. Yes. You can see it on his face. But it's like, we don't know for sure what his plans are going forward. So I could only imagine, he was genuinely happy, but I don't know. I'm looking at it and going, is there an ulterior motive here, with them, kind of rushing him into the Hall of Fame now?
Yes, there is.
We're being all nice to AJ. We're going to put you in the Hall of Fame. And we're going to, because you can't wrestle again because you retired with us. Don't forget.
Yeah, we'll get into that. I said my piece last night. But The Undertaker came out. He gets into the ring. He's got a microphone. He's like, you're just going to leave your stuff in the ring here and leave? We have unfinished business. And everybody's like, oh. Now, I know I'm not the only one.
Oh, no. That was my reaction.
No. My question to you was, because I thought, what the fuck are they doing, man? They got to sell tickets for WrestleMania. They're going to trot The Undertaker out there to bring AJ Styles out of retirement for WrestleMania. Please tell me you thought that they were leading to a match with that comment.
That's exactly where I thought this was heading. I was like, they're desperate and they need attractions for WrestleMania. They don't have Rock. They don't have Cena. So they're going to they paid The Undertaker a ridiculous amount of money for one more match. And they're going to run it back with him and AJ in the ring. And I'm like, that's the last thing we need to see.
Yeah, thank God we're not seeing that. I don't care to see that anymore. Taker told him there was a saying, if you see me coming, you're already gone. Well, Taker wanted to change it. He said, if you see me coming, that means you're going. And he inducted AJ Styles in the most genuine way possible into the Hall of Fame. And AJ's face lit up. He looked like he got very, very emotional. His family eventually joined him into the ring. He celebrated. He hugged Taker. And that's the way the show went off the air. Now, There was no Gunther after he hijacked the show. You know, some people were teasing that The Undertaker was going to be in the building. Sap put out something earlier. I've seen some people saying there may be a face-off with Gunther and The Undertaker at this point in the show. None of that happened, which, you know, I'm kind of glad it didn't because I just wanted it to be AJ. But, you know, WWE doesn't really take any risks like that.
Well, that's why they did the segment at the beginning of the show.
Yeah.
You know, was to give him a reason to not be in the building. Because otherwise you would expect that he would crash the tribute. So that's why they did the opening segment the way they did.
Yeah, so that's that. Before we get into what he said about WrestleMania and why he retired, I guess we'll talk about this segment. Now, I said last night, Jason, you know, we don't really know. A lot of us have a lot of things to say in regards to what we see on television, and we all feel like we know where things are going and what's going on, and everybody has an opinion. You know, a lot of people feel like AJ is eventually going to wrestle this year. And I hope he does. And selfishly, you know, we talked about this last week, a match with MJF or Ospreay or Omega or anybody over in AEW that would be a fucking match of the year candidate anywhere. I would very much like to see that. And if it's possible him to be at Wembley, I'd love to see it. That's just an unbelievable thing. And it could be so much fun for us fans. The fact that he retired left a lot of questions. And I feel like coming into this show last night and then the tribute in the Hall of Fame, it really got me thinking, man, WWE doesn't want him to go anywhere else and wrestle. And selfishly, they want to keep AJ all to themselves. Now, clearly, they monetized everything because they put a whole subsection on WWE Shop with the phenomenal collection. And, you know, they're obviously monetizing his name and his likeness in the Hall of Fame. And they're looking to sell tickets for a down period for this year's WrestleMania with him going into the Hall of Fame. So they're clearly using him as a monetary piece to their WrestleMania season. But after that, I don't know. We don't know how long his WWE contract is for. We don't know if after this he's signing a Legends deal. You know, clearly he's going to be home with his family. His wife wants him home. His kids wants him home. But I feel like WWE is trying everything in their power to keep AJ in the WWE family by doing all these things and eventually hoping that either A, he takes a coaching or staffing role with the company at the Performance Center, or B, WWE waits for him to kind of sit at home and spend time with his family to eventually come out of retirement so that the retirement is over. He comes back to WWE and wrestles that match with WWE instead of going to AEW, which I think everybody kind of feels he wants to do, or go to Japan. I feel like this is all being done in the most greedy, selfish way possible, and nobody's really taking AJ Styles' feelings into account here. And WWE is trying to do everything to stop him from going elsewhere because they know exactly where he's going to go. Am I wrong in that?
I mean, I definitely think they have, you know, there's always selfish motives in everything they do. I think they are trying to do something nice and pay tribute to him. And I also think that they don't want him going anywhere else. I think both of those things can be true. So it just boils down to what is in AJ's head and in his heart. Do I think he's going to wrestle again? I do. I don't think the WWE expects him to come out of retirement for them. I think that there may be a concern that, you know, he may want to potentially work somewhere else, even like TNA. You know, it doesn't necessarily need to be AEW. And it's hard to get inside his head. He was very... like, he was not declarative in the interview with Stephanie McMahon that he is absolutely done in the ring. And by him not giving a direct answer, that opened up the floodgates for people to look at that and go, okay, what does this mean? You know what I mean? Like, is he going to wrestle again this year? Is he, you know, looking more towards the future down the road and not committing to anything? I don't know what he's going to do. But I definitely think WWE is doing everything in its power to make sure that he stays with them within their family. And yeah, this is part of it. You know, they can honor him, but also do something that in their mind is like, okay, we're going to be real nice to him. And we're going to do all of these things for him. We're going to make it as hard as we can for him to look at what we're doing and go, oh man, I can't walk away from this. Look at all they're doing for me. So I think both of those things can be true. You know, that's why he's going into the Hall of Fame and John Cena is not. You know, he beat Cena into the Hall of Fame.
He did.
Although I when we get to the question now of like who inducts him, I think Cena's the guy. I mean, it just comes down to his availability. I mean, John Cena, every time he talks about AJ Styles, just like glows.
Well,
about the guy.
either Cena or The Undertaker, I would assume.
Either one, but I think Cena would be the most appropriate one.
Yeah.
And if I'm WWE, I mean, if I can get John Cena to make an appearance at the Hall of Fame and I can promote that,
Yeah.
even better.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's that. You know, AJ and the moment last night was a very genuine and emotional one. I thought it was it was easily the top moment of the night, but you know, moments like that are very few and far between. So take that as a special thing. You don't see that type of genuineness on television all that often. So when you get it, just appreciate it. AJ Styles did speak on the Raw recap with Sam Roberts and Megan Morant. He talked about WrestleMania, and he said that WrestleMania has kind of lost a little bit of luster. So he says this because he was asked why he retired at the Royal Rumble and not at WrestleMania. Styles was honest about his perspective on the current state of the industry's biggest event. He noted that while WrestleMania remains a massive event, it no longer holds the same personal prestige for him that it once did. So he went on to say that a WrestleMania match often feels like it lacks the necessary buildup, especially after returning from an injury. So he found more value in the sentimental attachment that he has to the event that introduced him to WWE fans when he first got to WWE. It was coming back from an injury to WrestleMania to a match that, to me, didn't have much build. WrestleMania, I'm sorry to say, used to be the most prestigious PLE, but to me, it's kind of lost a little bit of luster. As far as the Royal Rumble, that's special to me because that's where I made my debut. To be able to end where I started is poetic. Now, the decision to retire in January gave Styles a match spotlight at the Royal Rumble. It was a great match with Gunther. And obviously, Gunther's storyline is him systematically killing off careers like Goldberg and John Cena, and Styles being the last one. So we got that segment last night. We got the tribute, and Styles now is being inducted into the Hall of Fame. I'll give you the floor here, Jason, to start. Simply put, is AJ Styles correct in saying that WrestleMania has lost a little bit of luster?
I think WrestleMania has lost quite a bit of luster, actually. You know, WrestleMania used to be the big stadium show. Now they're all stadium shows. WrestleMania then became a 2-night event. It's not the only 2-night event anymore. And I guarantee you it's going to go far beyond WrestleMania and SummerSlam. Those aren't going to be the only two.
No.
So you look at it and you go, okay, all the things that used to differentiate WrestleMania from every other event that they did, like, what is that differentiating factor now? I mean, the elaborate set, right? Because they don't really put that much effort and money into the sets for, like, you know, the Rumble or Survivor Series. Outside of that, like, I don't know, what is the big differentiating factor now for WrestleMania as compared to a SummerSlam or some of these other big PLEs they do?
Nothing. I mean, the production is almost the same as WrestleMania. The stadium is the same as WrestleMania. The sponsorships are the same as WrestleMania. But the emotional stakes, where's the fucking emotion? You know, you don't get this feeling that WrestleMania is usually a culmination of everything that happens in the year, and it's just like a finality, and we start a new season. I haven't felt that way in fucking years watching WrestleMania. It's like, it's nothing more than one big corporate sponsorship, and that's all WWE uses it for now because it's WrestleMania in name and not WrestleMania in story. I don't know.
But I mean, again, all those characteristics that used to define what WrestleMania was, it's shared now across multiple, and not even like the big like tentpole events. I mean, it could be Clash in Paris, it could be a Saudi show. Like, we have these stadium shows, we have the pomp and circumstance, and we have all of the theatrics and everything that goes along with it. It's sad, but you know, WrestleMania now, it's gotten to a point where it really does. It feels like another big PLE, just in a long line of them that WWE does. Back in the day, there used to be a Money in the Bank match at WrestleMania. It might be the Undertaker streak. There were certain attractions on the show. Are there any WrestleMania specific attractions now each year?
No.
That are exclusive to WrestleMania? No. I mean, Money in the Bank years ago, they said, hey, you know, we're going to create our own PLE for that. And there really is no match. And maybe that's something for them to consider, by the way. You know, is kind of trying to get back to that. They're not going to get rid of the Money in the Bank PLE. It doesn't have to be that. It can be something else. But you don't even have that. You don't have that one WrestleMania attraction anymore. So he's not wrong. I think if anything, he's underselling it. I think he's trying to be too nice by saying it's lost some of its luster, a little bit of its luster. It's lost a lot of luster from what it used to be.
Yeah, I just feel like TKO has taken WrestleMania and just wrung that sponge so dry. Like, WWE is a moneymaker. TKO has made it such. Right now, they're making more money than at any point in their history. And, you know, it removes all desire. What happened?
A Blue Chew in the chat says WrestleMania doesn't even have a crate. That's what we need. We need the WrestleMania crate.
Yes.
Is what we need. Yes.
Well, what I was trying to say is WWE has brought WrestleMania. TK has brought WrestleMania to a point where it's removed the need for any creativity with any of the matches whatsoever. It's just what they feel is WrestleMania is corporate. And back in the day, I felt like WrestleMania needed to be a show that WWE nailed every single year. And it needed to be a climax for what we saw all year. And I don't really feel that way with WrestleMania this year or any year, really. I've gone on record saying WrestleMania has felt like the worst show that WWE produced all year just because of what they put into it. And I wish that they would change that mentality, but I don't see that going away, because if they can sell 50, 60,000 tickets and make, what was the number? Fucking $33 million per night. Like, what do they need to change? They don't give a fuck about what we feel. But my question to you, Jason, is, and after this we'll move on. If AJ Styles feels this way, who's to say the rest of the locker room doesn't feel that way? You think the rest of the locker room feels the way AJ Styles feels?
I'm sure. I mean, I don't know how many of them, but he's not the only one that feels that way. Of course, other people do. They're just not going to be as vocal about it. He's retired now. He doesn't give a shit. I mean, it's like, it's like when you're done and you're retired, all of a sudden you get a lot more courage to, go out and admit certain things. And so now he's like, fuck, I don't have anything to worry about, It's like, sure. Do they feel that way? They're in it. Like, they're in the middle of it. So I'm sure WrestleMania Day for many of them is a very stressful day, and they have other obligations behind the scenes, and they have fan access. So yeah, I mean, it's different than your standard PLE in that respect. But I think once, you go out there and you have your match and you're looking out at this big crowd, I don't know. I mean, is it really all that different? Because that's basically, they do that probably a dozen times throughout the year. You go out there in front of these big crowds, and they're doing more of these international tours, and they're running these just huge venues. And I don't know. I just think after a while, it just sort of starts to blend together. They have the big elaborate entrances, but WrestleMania needs an attraction. It needs something that screams WrestleMania, that differentiates it from every other event on the calendar. I think that's really what that show is missing right now.
Do you think they give us a different set as compared to what they did last year for this year's show? Or they use the same set?
I think they'll change it up.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a different logo. I mean, that would be fucking lazy if they did that.
Well, I wouldn't be surprised, honestly.
And it was a nice set, don't get me wrong, but I mean, you gotta change that up a little bit at least.
Rounding out this Elimination Chamber stuff here, we got a couple more news and notes for the Chamber. The box. What's in the box? Apparently, this is the big mystery going into the Chamber. And a lot of people were claiming that Chris Jericho is in the box and is going to be making his WWE return inside this box that we can't open until the 28th. Sean Ross Sapp put out something on Fightful this past week saying that on the February 16th episode of Raw, the giant box said do not open till 2/28. We saw this thing last night. We saw it again on Friday. The general managers keep shifting it off to one another to a point where Adam Pearce said last night, well, pack it up on the truck. We'll bring it to Chicago and we'll have Nick Aldis and myself open it together. So Fightful has repeatedly inquired within AEW about Chris Jericho's status with the company. Now, this is the main guy that everybody thinks is coming out of the crate. Due to AEW announcing years back that his deal ran through 2025, this led to many assuming his deal would be up by then. So far, Jericho is still listed on the roster page for AEW, which indicates a talent remaining under contract. There have been exceptions for this, such as Powerhouse Hobbs, who was removed after his final appearance almost immediately. Jericho is firmly under contract to AEW, and Sean Ross Sapp is told the belief from those around Jericho and in AEW is that his deal was frozen after he took time off in 2025. Without seeing the contract itself, a number of factors could have extended that deal from him resigning, injury time, to a deal freezing. It might have even been Jericho's call to say, you know what, Tony, take me off television. I think I'm getting a little stagnant, and will bring me back when I get refreshed and come up with something new. So it could have been Jericho's doing. Even if the injury time wasn't substantial, talent like Matt Hardy have had their deals extended by 2 weeks in the past. We just had a report saying that Private Party and Mark Quent's contract got extended because of injury time. Fightful has asked AEW a number of times in an official capacity if Jericho had left the company, didn't get a response where those usually occur upon departure. No internal memo has been distributed regarding Jericho's departure, which is usually the standard in AEW. Also, usually standard is the inclusion of AEW talent on the Jericho Cruise, which right now is planned for November, and has no AEW talent planned. Sources have indicated Jericho is still actively accepting convention dates for the upcoming months this spring and summer. Those close to Jericho have been very tight-lipped about his future, but we're told that he's mentioned to people he would be open to a WWE return, but feared he would have to give up his remaining outside projects while there. So according to this, Jason, Jericho is frozen. He's not going to be leaving AEW anytime soon. We don't know when, and he is not going to be the one that pops out of this mysterious box on the 28th. So have you given any more thought as to who this may actually be?
Yeah, it's funny. You keep mentioning the word frozen, and for whatever reason, the scene from Suburban Commando keeps popping in my head of Christopher Lloyd when he goes, "I was frozen today." I don't know why I thought of that, but I have a theory about this box. I think JD's in the box. I think the JD that I'm interacting with now is not real. I think this is AI JD, and the real JD is in that box.
I am not in the box, and
well, that's what an AI JD would say. Of course, you would say that. But I'll
tell you what, I'll come out of the box. I'll probably get a bigger reaction than Natalia on Monday night.
I don't doubt that.
And social media would boycott the fucking show. Watch, I know.
After this week, I don't doubt that whatsoever.
Who's in the box? Who's in the box, man? Is it Danhausen?
I think it's Danhausen.
Oh my god!
My theory was Danhausen or Demon Balor, and Demon Balor doesn't really make a lot of sense because Adam Pearce said that him and Nick Aldis are going to open it together in the ring. So it's got to be Danhausen. What the hell else, or who else could it be?
And what do you do with him? Now we know why the Vision's cursed. It's fucking mysterious box shows, but everybody goes down with injury.
Maybe they'll reveal that he's the reason why all these Vision members are going down with an injury. I don't know. I'm trying to think okay, he comes out of the box. Then what? Does somebody come out? Does he do a segment with The Miz?
Somebody's got to come out.
Who? Kit Wilson?
Obafemi.
You going to beat up Danhausen his first night in?
I don't know.
Of all the things to associate with Obafemi, yeah, let's put him in the ring with Danhausen. I think we keep him away from Danhausen. Probably going to be a comedy segment. I can't see, how could this be anything serious?
We went from taking someone's soul to Danhausen and his jar of teeth showing up on WWE TV.
If Ari Emanuel is so concerned about Elimination Chamber ticket sales like he was last year, maybe he can convince The Rock to be inside the box when they open the crate.
I don't know where their ticket sales are at, but that probably wouldn't hurt them at all.
Well, they've blacked out all the watch parties in Chicago now because they want people to buy tickets to the show.
Yeah, we got that story coming up too. Jericho's contract being frozen. I know this is par for the course in pro wrestling. Are you surprised to see Jericho with such prestige as Jericho's had in his career to be frozen by Tony Khan over in AEW?
Not if it was something that he requested. I tend to lean in that camp, but this was when Jericho left television last year. Yes. I don't think that was a Tony Khan call.
No, I said the same thing. I thought it was a Jericho call, yeah.
Yeah, it absolutely was a Jericho call. And so if it was with the idea that maybe he would go away and do other things, and I'm sure he's still being paid by Tony, then I can understand it. And maybe there was even a clause in his contract for that very thing, where whether it's a Fozzy tour or he's doing a movie or whatever it might be. I just don't see it I can't see it as being the same thing as what happened to like Ray Phoenix or Ricky Starks or any of these other people who were in similar situations. And in those cases, those people wanted out and they just weren't allowed to leave until finally, Tony let them go. I don't think that's what's going on here with Jericho. So I kind of feel like, okay, he requested time off and it had to be understood at that point that this was probably going to happen. And now it's just a matter of trying to wait and see how much time he's got left on his deal. When and by the way, it doesn't mean he wants to leave.
No.
Like, we don't know that he wants to go to WWE. For all we know, he may end up staying in AEW. Like, we don't know. The ball's in his court. He can do whatever he wants.
Yeah, we don't know how much time is added. I mean, I would assume it's anywhere between 4 and 6 months, depending on when Jericho maybe got back to Tony, wanted to come back to television. If it extends all the way to December, you're looking at 7-8 months because the last time we saw him was in April.
Yeah, I don't think. I don't know. I don't think it's that long.
No. See. We'll see. I think Jericho. My prediction is I think Jericho still ends up back in WWE, but we certainly aren't getting him for the Chamber, and certainly not for WrestleMania. So I think everybody needs to put that away and focus on what we're getting now on TV. Now, Jericho is the least of WWE's concerns and the fans' concerns, but Jason did mention that WWE are stopping watch parties in and around the Chicago area. Same thing that we got in Las Vegas with surrounding bars and clubs who are going to be playing WrestleMania. The watch parties are over. So I don't know if this is going to continue past the Chamber and past WrestleMania, if this is a new narrative that WWE is going to be playing with. According to Fightful Select, the promotion has implemented strict new blackout rules for upcoming premium live events. And this is Vegas and now Chicago. The decision is part of an effort to drive ticket sales for the United Center. Elimination Chamber watch parties in Chicago are being blacked out due to WWE's blackout rules in an effort to increase ticket sales, the report states. This follows a similar policy established for WrestleMania in Las Vegas, where establishments within 50-mile radius of Allegiant Stadium were prohibited from hosting public viewing events. The goal is to ensure that local fans who might otherwise gather at bars or theaters instead are encouraged to purchase a seat in the arena to experience the show live. Now, the move has caused frustration among local businesses and owners in Chicago who typically rely on major wrestling events to draw weekend crowds to their establishments. Under the current domestic rights agreement with ESPN Unlimited and Netflix internationally, the company has taken more aggressive stance on public performance licenses. By enforcing these blackout zones, the organization aims to maximize the gate revenue for its high-profile events during this current period of record-breaking growth and transition. I don't know, man. You know, you want to fuck with the fans and anger the fans. You know, how many people are actually going to want to be at these shows, period, if WWE continues to shit on their fan base? Like, how many people do they think can afford to go to these shows with the ticket prices are?
Here's what's so ridiculous about this. Is there anybody, do you honestly believe that there is anybody who is going to attend an Elimination Chamber watch party with their friends, with their boys, right? They're going to go to fucking Applebee's and they're going to watch the Elimination Chamber. And now they can. And so it's like, oh man, I can't go to my watch party. I guess I'll have to spend $400, not including fees and taxes, to go sit in the upper deck at the United Center just to watch the Elimination Chamber. Like, no one is doing this. No one is doing this. Certainly not enough people to make any kind of real dent. And it's not like they're struggling, like, oh my God, they have a setup of 17,000. They have like 11,000. They have over 15,000 tickets sold on a setup of 17,000. So it's not like they're hurting in terms of ticket sales, right? But they have certain benchmarks and goals, and it looks bad, right, if they don't sell out the venue. But this is not going to result in any sort of meaningful bump. I don't see it. All you're going to do, like you said, is piss a lot of people off for no reason at all, who want to get together with their friends or, you know, go somewhere, a bar, restaurant, whatever, and watch the Elimination Chamber. They are trying to squeeze every dollar they can out of anybody and everybody that they can. But I don't see this as really having any real effect. You cannot tell me that whatever place people are going to gather in Chicago, maybe it's not Applebee's, maybe it's some local place in Chicago I'm not aware of. And now all of a sudden, this crush of people are going to spend these insane ticket prices to go see who's in the crate at the Elimination Chamber.
Yeah, but I mean, you tell people that they can't do something, and they're going to find another way to do it. Who's to say that these same people don't go over a friend's house and you gather 10, 15 people at a friend's house and watch on one fucking TV with one account? That's 14 other people that didn't buy the show. So you're actively taking away from these people who want to have a good time for these businesses to make money, are telling these businesses you can't make any money because we're not allowing you to watch the Elimination Chamber and gather people at your venue. Like, I don't understand that.
Yeah, well, that's what people should do. I encourage people to do that.
Sure.
Have a designated friend, and if they have room at their house, just have a watch party at their house. That's all. Problem solved.
Exactly. That's so I don't understand this. And I know WWE's got a deal with Fandango, I believe, in the movie theaters, and they usually do the movie theater gimmick, and they have the showing there, and they gather people in the movie theater. Why doesn't WWE come up with a plan for the city, like elsewhere, like designated spots? They don't have to be every fucking bar. Like choose several different establishments in the town, in the city, and I don't know, maybe WWE gets some kickback from some of these venues. Like, is it possible a deal could be made with these businesses in town, or no?
No, of course. I mean, look, I pointed this out. Like, right now it's a blackout, right? So it's the same thing they're doing in Vegas. And I used this example on my show this weekend where Formula One, they tried something very similar in Vegas 3 or 4 years ago, where they were obstructing views of the races for people who were going to watch from some other location. And what they were trying to do was get these establishments to pay millions of dollars in licensing fees if they wanted to show the races. So basically, it was so much money that it would work out. Like if they passed that cost on to the customer, it would effectively be the same price, almost the same price as buying a ticket to the show. And there was this huge outcry over this, and then they ended up slashing it to like $50,000 per establishment, which was a lot more manageable. So and that was a few years ago. I don't know what it's like now. I could envision a scenario where TKO does something similar, where instead of a blackout, they end up saying, okay, if you want to show the event, this is what you have to pay, and if they're willing to pay it, then they'll pay it. But that's probably a cost that's going to get passed on to the people who want to come to the watch party.
Sure.
But that's where I see it going. I think it'll end up being a similar thing. I don't think this concept of a blackout is going to become like a permanent thing every single PLE. I think it'll kind of morph into something like that. And then it's just a matter of how much do they charge, these places to carry these shows.
Well, man, I tell you what, they need to up the quality of the television show if they want to keep these people coming out to find interest in their programming.
Or there's another potential solution here, which is maybe bring the price of the tickets down just a little bit to entice people to actually buy tickets, and maybe they will go to the show.
Sure.
When you look up again, nosebleed seats for Elimination Chamber, $270, not including tax. You could see why people are like, you know what, I'm not spending that kind of money, especially if you're going to go with other people and you're going to sit way up in section 300 or section 400. Dude, when I looked at the seating chart, this was the end of last week, there were so many blue dots on the floor.
Yep.
Like there were so many floor seats that were still open. I don't even want to know how much those seats are going for. But it's just these prices are astronomical. You can understand why not everybody is green shirt guy. Not everybody is going to just plunk down whatever it is to sit in the front row at a WWE show.
This was as of Friday. The tickets distributed, according to WrestleTix right now, is nearing 14,900. I'm sure it's over 15,000 now as of today, but they have a current setup of 17,016.
Yeah.
So they'll be near capacity on Saturday, for sure.
Yeah, and I know the United Center it could fit more than that. So I don't know if it's just limited to 17 because of the stage, or if, they could probably fit even more than that in there. But the way they do things now, they'll only open up certain sections, and as they fill up, they'll open up more.
Yeah.
WWE does that. AEW does that. So they could probably fit more than 17, but they're not sold out yet. There'll be a lot of people in the building. It'll be I shouldn't say that. You would assume it would be very loud, but I don't know, the way some of these shows have gone, you never know. But they're in Chicago, Punk. I'm sure it's going to be a lively crowd. It'll be fine. But they want to sell every single seat, and they do not want to bring prices down. They're looking at every other option. What can we do? What can we do? And they're dancing around like the most obvious thing that they could do, which is just start to lower some of the prices for the tickets. It's like, no, we can't do that. We got to find another way.
Duff's in the chat said it's $5K for floor seats.
Okay, well that sounds about right.
You got five G's. You got five G's to drop on Elimination Chamber.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. So now you know why there's a lot of blue dots there on the floor.
Yeah. No, thank you, man. I'd rather put that towards a new PC, man. I don't need to see fucking Finn Balor and CM Punk.
It's not even WrestleMania, dude.
No.
$5,000 for 4 matches and a crate. Are you fucking kidding me?
Danhausen, $5,000 potentially. Imagine that. Oh, no, thank you. So rounding out some other WWE.
Did they at least bring you in the ring when the show is over and let you take a picture inside the crate? Like, could that be part of the $5,000 that you're paying for? You get a photo op inside the crate when the show is over.
Some sort of package exists that way. I don't. You get pictures in the aisleway by the ring. I don't know. If you're a mark, I guess that works.
TNA had it. I'm telling you, man. TNA had it right many years ago. When I went to go see them in person for the first time, they had a show at Webster Hall, and I paid for. I think I was in like the 4th row or 5th row. And when the show was over, part of what I paid for was they let you into the ring. The main event was Kurt Angle against Christian Cage, and Kurt was the champion. And you could get into the ring, and they would take a Polaroid of you standing there in the ring when the show was over with Kurt Angle. And it's like, okay, this is cool. I remember, I still have it. I have the photo, and Kurt looks like he's just gone. Kurt was in another dimension during this period. But, you know, you got to at least sweeten the pot and come up with some fan-friendly things that you could throw in there. It's like, no, you're just going to pay $5,000 to just sit in the crowd, and you'll have one match and then 20 minutes of ads and then another match and 20 minutes of ads and a big entrance, and that's it. You know, you get to eat and you go home.
WWE loves the Aura Farm. According to Drew McIntyre, he's not wrong.
Please, they love it. At least offer some sort of like food package. Call it like the Yeet and Eat package or something. I don't know. I mean, just I don't think they offer anything.
The Yeet and Eat package.
Yeet and Eat.
I can get behind that.
So you can go to the show and you can yeet when Jey Uso comes out, but you also you get like a certain amount of like, especially if you're on the floor, like, you know, free food up to like a certain value or something, you know? Yeah.
And then he'll go on IG and put up a story and say that we don't appreciate his family.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
Oh, man. Listen, you guys going to the chamber, man, enjoy yourself, man. Seriously. It's your money. God bless you. Night of Champions. We got some other modern WWE news and notes here. Night of Champions is coming back to Saudi Arabia this summer. WWE already announced Clash in Italy on May 31st. That will take place in Bologna, Italy. And that marks a return to the country for a major event in WWE.
You're talking about May 31st?
May 31st, yeah.
Yeah, that's not Bologna. It's Turin.
Turin, that's right. I don't know why I got Bologna here. I thought it was maybe that's one of the towns that they're making a stop in. I don't know. Turin, yes, I did see Turin last night. StreamYard popped up, so make sure you look out for that.
Okay.
Premium live events coming May 31st. Clash in Italy, and then Saudi Arabia June 27th will be getting Night of Champions. So that's coming back.
I saw that. Is that confirmed or is that just rumored right now?
Right now, bodyslam.net is reporting that tentatively it is taking place on June 27th.
All right, so it's not confirmed. I just remember, you know, Post Wrestling many months ago said Backlash was coming to Puerto Rico, and then they not that I'm sure those discussions were happening, but it ended up not happening. So yeah, I did see that. That's not confirmed, but I think they had Night of Champions in Saudi last year too. That's where they did the Cena Punk match.
Yes, they did. Yes, so that's that. So May 31st, Turn Italy, Clash in Italy, and then that is tentative. So we'll see when that's announced, and then SummerSlam confirmed for August 1, August 2nd, Minneapolis, and then. Yes.
Minneapolis? Okay.
Minneapolis, yeah.
Minneapolis.
And then Money in the Bank is September 6th this year. New Orleans. You know, the place that WrestleMania was supposed to emanate from, but they got it taken away from them because they were bad.
Oh, man, I'd be looking forward to a New Orleans trip in a few weeks.
Yes.
Had they stuck to their original plan, I'd be looking forward to going back to NOLA, man.
Yes, I would.
Took my vacation away from me.
I would love that. And now we may be headed to Vegas, so we'll see what happens with that. So that's the WWE news. I think we are going to shift here into some AEW news because we had a major happening on Dynamite, and apparently Dynamite had a lot of rewrites supposedly on Wednesday. So there were some rewrites that happened on the show. All in all, it was a decent show. I didn't think it was like a great show by any stretch of the imagination, but the closing angle was tremendous television for AEW, and I really enjoyed it. So rewrites happened on Dynamite, heavy rewrites, supposedly. So this is coming from, I believe, The Observer and Dave Meltzer. I don't know the names, but I was told in the afternoon of the show that it was completely rewritten, not completely. I mean, Omega Swerve was exactly what was going to be, and I think that four-way women's TBS championship, that's what it was going to be. There was a lot of illness, both from people from Australia, and I think some were too injured to make the trip back. There were a lot of illness from people, some in Australia, but a lot who didn't go. So the feeling is somebody must have been sick last Wednesday, and a lot of people got it. So Meltzer was blaming some of the rewrites on injuries and illness coming from the Grand Slam show in Australia. But in the main event, Jason, we got Swerve Strickland defeating Kenny Omega in the first ever singles match between them. Following the match, Strickland completed a heel turn by attacking Omega, eventually delivering a vertebreaker off the ring steps through the announce table and repeatedly yelling into the camera, "I needed this, I needed this." Omega and Strickland match took place on this episode rather than the Revolution pay-per-view because Kenny Omega is involved in the Capcom Cup, and he's going to be competing in that esports tournament in Japan. So we'll start.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I thought that was maybe a new championship that Tony had added to AEW.
Don't give them any ideas.
Capcom Cup.
Yes, he's going to be in a Street Fighter tournament, so that's why he's not at the pay-per-view. So they wrote him off television theoretically, so that takes him out of the pay-per-view. This was a tremendous match, Jason. I thought this was probably the best Dynamite main event that we've seen all year so far. It was very early into 2026. I know I said it wasn't a heel turn in my honest opinion, and I want to explain why I didn't get that sense. I know you joke, what does the guy got to do? Jesse said the same thing to me. I said, let's see it play out. You know, he's going to show up on Wednesday. Whose house? Swerve's house. We got to get an explanation. And the reason why I'm waiting is because I want to see what his explanation is. I know he put a very creative tweet up following this match, and he checked off like a bullet point list of the Bucks and Hangman and Omega. So he's taking out all the elite. So, you know, they're all baby faces, so that tends to lead that Swerve is going heel here. But the most important thing, whether he's not or is, I think he desperately needed this, Jason. I feel like Swerve, and we talked about this on Wednesday with Jesse, I feel like Swerve, though he's a tremendous professional wrestler, as a babyface, I felt like he was lacking in some areas because he was almost coming off in a way where he wasn't genuine. When he's a heel, I feel like we get Swerve for almost who he really is, and I think he's just more in a natural element when he's a heel. So not only do I think it was a tremendous segment, I think this was one that he desperately needed. Plus, I do think the main event scene is babyface heavy following MJF in the World Championship. We got Omega, we got Swerve, we got Hangman, we got Ospreay coming back, we got Brody King. We needed that heel. And out of everybody that is there, I think Swerve turning heel is probably the best choice out of them all. So I personally am going to give him till Wednesday to hopefully give us an explanation as to why. I think right now, I feel like it's an in-between type of thing with him until he gives us the explanation. But I feel like it was absolutely needed for his character.
Well, we'll find out tomorrow, you know, what the explanation was. But I thought it was a hell of a heel turn. And I thought that it was nice not just to get a great main event, but a major angle to close out the show. Dynamite has had, there are times where there's like a major angle at the end of the show, and to me, those tend to be the more memorable ones. And my favorite one, I mean, to this day, is still the Mariah May Tony Storm one. Yeah. And the way Dynamite ended that night, to me, that's still the most memorable Dynamite ending of all time, to me. So I thought it was a great angle. I actually thought that it was the best Dynamite of the year so far, which is kind of funny that, you know, not even a week later, we got the worst Raw of the year. But that's how I felt. That's how I felt when the show was over, and that main event had a lot to do with it. And now it presents some interesting potential paths now that they could take, because we know what the match for Revolution is, which we'll talk about here now in a second. Hangman Page and MJF, and some interesting stipulations that are being added to it. You would think that Hangman would have an issue with Swerve for attacking Kenny Omega in the way that he did, because Hangman and Kenny are friends. So we'll see how that plays out. It does present the possibility that Swerve Strickland could end up in a championship match against Hangman Adam Page, right? I mean, we're in a scenario right now where that could very well happen as early as Dynasty. So whether you think it will or not, it creates maybe some doubt in people's minds, where before they're like, oh, MJF's not going to lose the belt. And all of a sudden, they've created some doubt potentially between the Swerve turn and between the stipulation that was added to the title match of Revolution. So we talk a lot about predictability and unpredictability. So that's not a bad thing, you know. And the main event scene is easily the most intriguing part of AEW television right now. There's just so many people, and you didn't even mention Andrade. Like, there were so many potential challengers lined up for that championship that it has really helped carry the show recently. So I love what they did, and it's all in the follow-up, you know, and what he has to say on Dynamite tomorrow night. Yeah,
MJF was just recently quoted saying that the main event scene is the strongest that it's ever been in AEW's history, and I tend to agree with him in that. And it's not even at its full strength yet. Ospreay's out, obviously, so he's right in that assessment. With the stipulation, Adam Page told MJF on Wednesday that if he doesn't win the world championship, He's taking a page out of the Cody Rhodes playbook here. If he doesn't win the world championship, as long as he is alive and breathing, he will never challenge for the world championship again if he doesn't beat MJF. Now, with the whole Swerve aspect, I don't think personally we see Adam Page win the world championship. I think MJF retains at Revolution. Do you see Swerve now potentially heel, I guess full-fledged heel, turning on Page, because there was some sort of alliance there. They weren't really friends, but they were at least, they had the common theme of world championship in mind. But
they were coming out together with chains.
Yeah, so there was some sort of bond there between them. Do you see Swerve now going heel, taking that opportunity away from Page? Are we looking at a Swerve versus Adam Page program all over again, maybe leading into some of their biggest shows, maybe Double or Nothing, maybe Wembley? Do you think that they are going back to that? Because honestly, you look at the Punks and MJF stories of AEW's history, Adam Page and Swerve Strickland's right there. Do you think they go back to that?
I hope they do. I think they've gotten away from it long enough where if they wanted to go back to it, I'm game for it, because they had some incredible matches together. And that was the feud that really put Swerve on the map and solidified him as a top guy in AEW. So, is it going to be the same dynamic where Hangman's the babyface, Swerve is the heel? That's the way it's looking right now. Although we can't discount the possibility that Hangman ends up going heel at some point.
That's what I pitched. I ended up saying that they may actually be a tag team.
Further down the road, I could see it.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say that's something that's going to happen in the next couple of months. But yeah, we could very well, be looking at it. And I tend to agree with you where, as I sit here right now, do I honestly believe that they're going to take the title away from MJF next month? I don't know why you would.
No.
Because he's still very early into his run and, he's doing a great job with it right now. Everything sort of revolves around him. It would be weird to take that title away from him so soon.
Yeah.
But you can make the argument where we take it from him, we put it on Hangman, and you build up this big, because that's the one thing we never got. For all the battles between Hangman and Swerve, it was never for the world title.
No.
So that would be the one big difference this time, is now the championship is on the line. It's very appealing, but I would not pull that title off MJF just yet. I think that'd be a mistake.
No. MJF, he's, I've never seen a world champion in AEW make the media rounds as he has done since he's won the championship. I mean, he's legitimately everywhere. He's interviewing with everybody. He's just everywhere. It's great to see. I mean, their ratings almost hit 700,000 this week. So clearly something is working. And if that's the MJF effect, great. But pro wrestling fans want great competition and great story. Those guys at the top got a lot of story to tell. And you got a guy at the top as the world champion who tells the best stories when he's in something that's given some substance. So I think a lot of things, especially at the top of the card, are working in AEW's favor. And Tony Khan needs to do everything he can to preserve that, because right now it is clearly the driving force of his show. So I am looking forward to what they do as a follow-up with Swerve here. I'm looking forward to the stories that they tell, because there's a lot there that they can tell. And Revolution could be shaping up to be a great show, and it usually is every single year. So we have that leading the charge. Elsewhere on Dynamite, we got Jon Moxley in a title eliminator. Obviously, we're looking at a rematch between him and Takeshita for the Continental Championship. This one is not going to have a time limit, Jason. This is going as long as they can, because the last time they wrestled, they went to a 20-minute time limit draw. So I think what you said and kind of mapped everything out, with Takeshita winning it, Okada still having the international championship, and them leaving that's separate, away from each other until we get to All In. I genuinely think that you're on the right path there. I think that's what's going to happen, and Takeshi is eventually going to take that title back.
Yeah, that's what it feels like to me. Yeah, they kind of looked at it and said, okay, we'll hold off on the big finale with Okada and Takeshita for our biggest show of the year.
Yep.
It's just it's still many months away though, so that's the only thing. But if he wins the title at Revolution, he's got a few pay-per-views where he could defend it against a few people, rack up some wins. And then you turn around and the summer is here, and you can do Okada and Takeshita, with Takeshita getting that big win that he did not get at World's End.
FTR and the Young Bucks is confirmed for Revolution. I don't know what's going to happen coming out of Collision, because there was an instance where FTR attacked Young Bucks family at ringside. So I don't know if there's going to be, I'm assuming there'll be some sort of stipulation for the match.
Well, yeah. So they lost actually to the Rascals on Collision. So they had an eliminator match. The Rascals beat them. I was trying to think the other day, has there ever been a situation where somebody won an eliminator match and then in the second match they beat the champion? So they basically beat the champion twice. I don't know that that's ever happened.
I don't think that's ever happened. No,
I don't believe so.
No.
So I don't think it's happening with the Rascals either. But the Rascals did get a win. So are they going to add them to the match at Revolution? Probably not. But I did see the angle they shot at the end of the show. It was very similar to what they did with Beth Phoenix, where they had FTR attack the family member. So I didn't even know that the Young Bucks had a younger brother named Malachi. I had never laid eyes on this guy before. If you put him in a fucking lineup and you put a gun to my head and force me to pick of 10 people, of 5 people, which one do I think is their younger brother? I would be dead, because there's no way I would have picked this guy out to be their younger brother. But there he was, and they dragged him over the barricade and they put him in the ring and they gave him a spike pile driver. So which I think is what they did to Beth Phoenix with Copeland. So yeah, they did it to try to put more heat on the match. I don't know if they're going to add a stipulation to it or not, but they're trying to at least put some personal heat on it instead of it just being the Young Bucks and FTR again.
Yeah, which nobody wants to see. I mean, that's just ridiculous. We've seen it enough times.
Some people clearly want to see it, but me personally,
No.
Having seen it several times now, although it has been 2 years since we've gotten it, it hasn't felt that long, but it was Dynasty 2 years ago. That was the last time they had a straight tag team match against each other. So, yeah, I wish. Here's the problem, though. Like, I wish that there was another team that was well positioned and strong and set up right now to challenge for those titles of Revolution. Copeland and Christian would have made the most sense, just to pick back up with that story. And I don't know what the hell's going on with the two of them. And then they lost a bunch of teams. I mean, they had Jurassic Express and they had the Hurt Syndicate and even Davis and Doyle, right? They're done as a team now. So the tag team division, like, the pieces are there, but between the injuries they've had and the fact that they just have not done a great job of setting up another team as like the obvious number one contenders, like, that's got to be the match. Because if it's not the Bucks, then who is it? Jet Speed? Like, they haven't set anybody up.
And Jet Speed's the trio champion, so they're not even worried about the tag team titles.
Yeah, so who else would it be? They just haven't done a great job of establishing that really strong number one contender.
No. So Stokely threw powder in Papa Buck's face. Like Jason said, Malachi took a spike pile driver. Jack Perry came out to make the save. Ricochet stopped him with a spirit gun. Malachi apparently was a wrestler from 2004 to 2010, which I didn't even know until I just looked it up. And that was the closing angle for Collision. So they added some heat to this tag team match. I wouldn't be surprised if we see a dog collar match, honestly, at Revolution between these two teams.
Could be.
Yeah.
Could be. I can see that.
So we'll see how that transpires on Dynamite. Elsewhere, we had a TBS title match. Willow retained over Mina, Marina, and Megan Bayne. Not surprising, but I was hoping Megan Bayne would take the TBS title because Willow holds the TBS title and the women's tag team title. So nothing's changed there. And
I think they're setting up Megan for a singles match at Revolution.
Yeah, I think so. That's a good place to do it. And as far as the women's championship, it looks like they're setting up Thunder Rosa as an in-between for Tekla before Chris Statlander gets a rematch now.
Tekla, Jesse.
Tekla, yes. We love Tekla. So, yeah, things are looking okay on Dynamite's, on the mid-card for Dynamite. Nothing too spectacular, nothing too crazy. But the main event scene is what's really driving everything.
Well, on Collision, they had a backstage segment with Ciampa. And he was interviewed, and he said he wants to get his belt back. So do you think, are we looking at a rematch here, possibly, for Revolution with him and Fletcher?
Yeah. I don't think he wins the belt back, though.
Okay.
Yeah. We'll see. I don't think they should have taken it off him to begin with, but, I mean, flipping the titles back and forth, what difference does it make? If Fletcher loses it to Ciampa, I think Fletcher should be mixed up with the main event guys. So give it back to Ciampa and move Fletcher up. But I don't see Tony
the main event scene's a little busy right now, so he would be one of many. I mean, I don't think the focus would really be on Kyle Fletcher right now when you've got all these other guys ahead of him.
I know. So that's Dynamite. Should be a interesting show tomorrow. And we'll end with this before we get to the Super Chats. Ring of Honor was in the news, believe it or not. And this is actually some decent news for the Ring of Honor brand. This is coming from Fightful Select. And apparently, over the last couple weeks, there's been a lot of speculation about the future of Ring of Honor. All Elite Wrestling making numerous signings. Many have questioned if a new TV deal is in the works or if a new direction for Ring of Honor is in the works. Ring of Honor will be filming a studio show in Jacksonville on March 1st at the WJCT Studios. Now, in recent weeks, AEW sources indicated this approach with talent being made aware of the tapings. We're told that this could end up being a regular home for Ring of Honor in the future. Years ago, there was speculation backstage that ROH could regularly film at Daly's place, but that did not end up happening. ROH also filmed at Universal Studios in Orlando in the past. Tony Khan has fielded TV offers in the past for Ring of Honor. WBD made an offer for a Friday night 10 p.m. time slot in 2014. Instead, Tony Khan passed on it, accepted a slot for an AEW Dynamite replay, and we're told Tony Khan has a very distinct view of what Ring of Honor TV could be worth. You know, I know Ring of Honor has lost its appeal, Jason, and obviously it still has its fan base and fanfare, and they still put on their usual pay-per-views when they come around. But I think the one glaring thing that really stood out about the brand was the fact that it always tagged along to AEW. And I feel like because of that, it got lumped into, it's nothing more than the replacement for AEW Dark or one of their YouTube shows. The way that they make the show stand out on its own is give it its own home, its own look, its own feel, and its own roster. And I hope that this is the beginning phase of doing that, because if they want the brand to die, then keep it the way that they're doing it now and operating as the way it is right now. If not, this is to me the most important change that they could possibly do. Give it its own home, and then from there, build upon making it its own entity. So this is a great move in the right direction.
Well, I mean, the biggest change they could do is get it on television. You know, I mean, that really, it's not going to really grow unless they get on television. So, I mean, I think that still has to be the ultimate goal. I still say there's something going on here because he's been signing people like crazy. So I do wonder if all of these recent signings are in some way tied into this idea that maybe there is something brewing with Ring of Honor. Look, if you're an ROH fan, then that's what you should be hoping for, as a proper TV deal, because I don't think that without that added visibility, it's like what I said about TNA when they were still on Access TV. You're only going to grow so much. The WWE partnership helps, but you've got to get better television. And now they're on AMC. And they're growing their audience. I mean, they slid back a little bit this week, but they bit by bit have been growing their audience since that horrendous debut episode. They just were never going to be able to grow without good TV. And I feel the same way about Ring of Honor.
We'll see what happens with that. Exciting news there if you're a Ring of Honor fan. That's happening this spring, so keep an eye out on that. And before we get to the Super Chats, just quick, because I know this was a tweet made earlier in the week. Just a small congratulations to Mike Santana celebrating 3 years sobriety. I know how big of a deal that was for him and how much of a turning point in his career that was. So congratulations from us to him. We love him. Always a big supporter of his. And, I don't want to make it about myself, but I feel my family is suffering from the same thing. And I wish that they would turn that corner like he did, because I know how devastating that is to a family. And reading that tweet, I'm glad to see that he is, he's well on his way to being the superstar we all know he can be. So congratulations to him. That's a great deal. Anyway, guys, thank you very much for all of your support. We had a great show tonight. We got 2,700 people in here. We need another 65 likes for 1,000. So you guys killed it. And you guys, looking at the Super Chats, you guys fucking killed it on the Super Chats. So we're going to get into them right now. Thank you for all the support. Please continue. Super Chats are open. They will remain open. Follow us on social media at JD from NY206. That's Solid Monster. Hit that subscribe button over on Jason's channel. He'll be live tomorrow night for AEW Dynamite, as always. Another episode of the Uncrowned podcast went up tonight, so make sure you guys go check that out. If you want to speak on that, Jason, I'll give you the floor to do that.
Yeah, that was episode 3 of the Uncrowned Wrestling Show. Went live a little earlier this evening. You can find it if you search for the Ariel Helwani Show. So we're not on YouTube, but wherever you get your podcast from. So Apple Podcasts, Spotify, just search for Ariel's feed, and it will be the latest show that popped up there. I think Ariel just posted something about it as well. Longest one yet, 90 minutes, lot to cover, including some stuff that I didn't get into on my end, we didn't get into tonight. So go check it out. Spread the word.
There you go. Michael Krause, $2 super chat. JD, Jason, OTS, how's everyone? Let's go. Yeah. Thank you, Michael. Hardcore Kevin with a $5 super chat. What's up, JD Solo? Today's my 27th birthday, and I'm glad it's on a TNT. Best gift ever. Also, question of the day. What are your top 3 donuts? Hashtag TNT for life.
Well, let me first say happy birthday.
Yes, happy birthday.
The most important thing. So, man, I try to stay away from them now because it's funny. I went through a period where I was like, I'm going to have one each morning. It was like a Dunkin' Donuts not that far away. I'm like, oh, yeah, one donut in the morning. And I think I gained like 10 pounds just from that alone. I'm like, no more donuts.
No.
But I am a fan of marble frosted. I am a fan of the chocolate frosted with sprinkles. And I am a fan of the jelly donut.
Okay. My favorite is Boston cream. I like a good strawberry frosted with sprinkles. And I like a traditional glazed donut. Thank you, Hardcore.
You're a glazer, JD.
Yes, I am.
That's all you do is glaze.
Yeah, all I do is glaze, yes.
I'm not surprised.
Yes. Cody Snyder with a 46 months. Some people actually want Vince back. Some have mentioned Rock and Gewurz taking over. Who would everyone here prefer, Rock or Vince?
Well, I mean, he's not wrong there. There are people who want Vince back. Of course, these people are brain damaged. So unfortunately, you know, they're not necessarily thinking right when it comes to who they want in charge of WWE. Their wrestling brain is just not working in the same way that everyone else's is. Rock and Gewurz, I think that there's a very real possibility that in the next few years there could be something there.
Yeah, I firmly believe that's going to happen. Yes. Don't know when, don't know how, don't know what the end result is going to be that says enough is enough, but I feel like that's going to happen. And Vince being back, I listen, the stories that went around today that Vince was getting together with financial backers in Saudi Arabia to buy back WWE from TKO. I don't know where this got started, but
yeah, it got started on the Twitter account that you looked at earlier when you were sharing that other story with me.
Yeah, probably.
Wessel votes.
Yes, Wessel votes, yes.
You got Wessel voted again.
Cody Snyder, thank you, brother. Havilia, again, thank you for the $200 super chat from Brisbane, Australia. Baltimore Jackson with the $4.99. What's up, my brothers? Another week, another TNT, another fire episode. It's always a great night when JD and the Monster are in the house. 2 thumbs up. Thank you, Baltimore Jackson.
No lies detected.
No. Ali with a 5. I miss AJ Styles already, and I'm thrilled for him that he's been inducted into the Hall of Fame of 2026. There will never be another AJ Styles. I know a lot of people were emotional about last night. I loved AJ. I thought he was great. I didn't get teary-eyed or anything, but I don't think he's done. And I do think that no matter what he says, he doesn't want to embarrass himself or he wants to end it before he does anything stupid. I think the guy legitimately has got another 2 years left in him if he wants it. So we'll see. Hopefully we get that Ospreay and Omega match in the future. Michelle with a 2. Feelings that TKO have been booking the shows lately. I don't know how much say anybody has there. I just think Triple H and his team are just terrible at their fucking job lately. That's what I think. Why are we shifting the blame to other people? I don't think they have anything to do with the show. Luca with a $10 super chat. Today marks my first full year of sobriety. You, Jesse, Solid Monster, and the Otis family all helped me through the journey with fun streams, hilarious rants, and I thank you for all of it. Andale. Luca, that's fucking amazing.
That's awesome. Yeah, that's awesome.
That's amazing, brother. Thank you so very much. I take that to be more valuable than anything you guys can give me monetarily. That's great. Continue that, man. We'll be here whenever you need us. No doubt.
Yeah. One day at a time, brother.
Yeah. Bork Laser, 89 with $4.99. Have you guys ever went to Amityville, New York, and saw the Amityville Horror House? And what are your thoughts on it? Hoax, or does the story have some truth to it?
He did say the horror house, right?
The horror house, yes.
Okay. I did a double take there. I must have missed that. I didn't know they had that in Amityville. No, I have not actually. I have not seen that.
I have not. Would I go? Probably. Do I believe the story? Yes, I do. Yes, I do. I believe in the paranormal. Some people look at me like I got fucking 3 heads, but yes, I do. Arvin with a super chat. Not a fan of the basic fatal four-way for the WWE title at WrestleMania. How about a ladder match? Ed, Sami Zayn, Ed, Aleister Black, plus surprises like Royce Keys, hopefully Jericho. Then the mid-cards go one-on-one. No.
Oh, my God.
No.
He's having a revolving door here for the WWE Championship?
No. Why does everybody got to get added to the WWE title match? The more we add to it, the less valuable it is. Who wants to see that?
That's basically like a WWE Championship Open Challenge that you've just outlined there. We already have an Open Challenge with Brock Lesnar. We don't need another one.
Let's get Royce Keys on television first before we start putting him in the main event at WrestleMania. We know more about Royce Keys from a Stephanie McMahon podcast than we have on WWE TV. Come on.
That's the thing. Instead of vignettes, we get these little clips of him on. It's not Stephanie McMahon, JD. You got to get it right.
Who is it?
Well, she goes by Steph now. So the name of her show is What's Your Story with Steph McMahon.
Oh, sorry. Steph sounds so much cooler.
Yeah.
Phantom, thank you, brother, for the $200 super chat coming to us from Canada. Appreciate you very much. Baltimore Jackson with the $4.99. One thing I've learned is don't make JD angry. He rants like a savage and will kick you out on his stream. Solo isn't the only monster. Well, we had a guy last night, Ted, who claimed that I'm negative because I was telling everybody that the Nattie Maxxine segment was terrible. And one guy was like, man, you're always so negative. I'm like, well, tell me when there's something that's fucking positive on this show and I'll speak positively. The show sucks. That's all you need to know.
Yeah, Ted.
Yeah, Ted. Lord Maestro with a $4.99. Hey, guys, wanted to send some love. If Triple H was in charge in 2021, would we have seen that massive NXT World Champion being cut? Who was cut in 2021?
NXT champion? Who's cut? You're not talking about Adam Cole.
NXT champions being cut? Who was cut?
Oh, NXT champions.
NXT champions. Yeah, world champions.
Karrion Kross, is that who he's referring to?
Oh, I guess.
I don't know. I don't know.
I don't know, man. You got to let us know who that was. Was Triple H in charge in 2021? No. Not in the main roster. NXT
Well, he's saying if he was.
Yeah.
Would we have seen those people who got released? Because there was like a mass wave of releases that happened around that time. And so he's asking if Triple H was the one in charge. Would we have seen that? And the answer is yes.
Yes.
You would have had releases.
Yeah. Twisted with a $19.99. I hate that folks are crapping on Atlanta. Every time when WWE and AEW comes down to Atlanta, we are always loud. Last night's Raw was not good. Don't expect us to eat if we are fed shit. Triple H is not a good chef right now. Cheers, JD and Monster. 100% factual, man. I sense no lies in that comment.
But they were very excited, though, to show us all of the celebrities that were in attendance last night.
Yeah.
So we had 2 Chainz, and we had Jermaine Dupri.
We had Bow Wow.
We had Bow Wow, who's an adult now. Like, you know, remember when Bow Wow was...
Yeah.
And then, I called him... Yeah, people made fun of me for this. I referred to him as offshoot. But it was offset, so I stand corrected. I'm sorry.
Dwight Howard was in attendance too.
Yes. So they love showing us who's in attendance. Of course, that's always a big part of the show.
Twisted. Thank you, brother. Demeter Bullion Doggy with a $7.99. You should hit up Paul London. Ya know he and Triple H got along a little too well. If you get me, Solo. Especially at night without too much info. Who faces Logan at WrestleMania? How about HBK?
Sure. Why not?
Why not, man? As long as he's not bald, right? As long as he's not bald.
AJ Styles is going to be very angry if you retired only for Shawn Michaels to now come out of retirement.
My guy, Dr. Evil Genius, with 39 months. Creative is too busy finding ways to put corporate logos in our faces to give us wrestling storylines we can look forward to on Mondays and Fridays. Again.
What was that logo in the middle of the ring last night?
Dude wipes?
No, it was for I think an adult beverage, I believe, or some kind of beverage. It was a new. Oh God, what the hell was the logo on the mat? They're cycling out so many of them. I don't see the Real American Beer one anymore, so I don't know if that relationship is over or not.
Well, the Hulk Hogan's not the main character on the can anymore.
I know.
It's just,
I know that.
Yeah.
I know that. But It used to be on the Raw mat every week, and yes, I don't know. I mean, the Dude Wipes, is Dominic Mysterio like the face of Dude Wipes now?
Yes, he had it on his T-shirt.
He did. Okay,
Yeah.
Actually, I didn't even notice that.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Thank you, Genius. Hopefully you and the ladies are well. Boston with Jackson, $4.99. Which band would you guys prefer to produce their talent's entrance music? And where would you rate the Young Bucks among the greatest tag teams of all time? What band would I get to produce the talent's entrance music? No band in particular. I think more bands, the better. Anybody with Def Rebel. How about that? And Young Bucks, greatest tag team of all time, Jason?
No.
No.
I think he was asking where we would rank them.
Yeah, where would we rate them? Yeah.
I mean, they're going to end up being ranked pretty high. You know, when you look at their influence, and obviously they were one of the founding fathers of AEW, and so of course they're going to be pretty high up on the list. On my personal list, I mean, they're not in the top, 5 or anything like that, but for some people they might be.
Yeah, it's a very subjective list. If I had to choose top tag team of all time, I mean, we grew up in a day and age with Legion of Doom and Demolition. You want to talk about modern day before that time period? Dudley's, Hardys. You can't go wrong. I was a big
Hard
Money Inc. Hard Foundation. I was a big Money Inc. guy. I love Money Inc.
Bulldogs.
Baltimore Jackson, thank you, brother. Israel with a $9.99. Hey, JD Jason. First and foremost, congrats to you guys on Hog and with Ariel. Jason, you are right about San Diego, my hometown. We are spoiled with our weather. Hope you two are doing okay with the storm.
I wish I would have scheduled a trip to San Diego this week.
Yes.
Could have avoided all this.
Yes, I would love to be out there. Thank you, Israel. And M94 with the $2 super chat. Glad you asked Havili. Bailey, Rhea, Stephanie, Jade. Oh, I guess that goes with the Nudie magazine comment. So, NM, thank you for your input there, brother. True Crime with the $10 super chat. According to the Men's Journal and Fox Sports, there's creative plans being set up to have Roman stand tall over Punk at WrestleMania 42. Netflix wants him as the head of the show to draw more eyes to the product. I did not see that, and that's a terrible idea. Unless Roman's going to be there almost semi-full-time, that's a terrible idea. Can you imagine, Jason, a Roman Reigns part-time World Heavyweight Championship run on Monday night?
Yes, I can.
With an already IC title not being defended?
Yes. Yeah. Well, let's just put the World Heavyweight title on Roman. We'll put the Intercontinental Women's title on AJ Lee, who's also part-time. What other part-time attractions can we put belts on?
The Usos have tag titles in a dead division.
Yes. I think they've defended them once, right?
Only once against the Alpha Academy.
Otis and Tozawa.
I don't know, man. That doesn't sound like a good move. Base Beers for the 2. No Braun, no Bronson. Time to push Theory.
Push him where?
Yeah, push him. You have to push him where? I don't know. You have to wake the fans up first to get excited.
Yeah, I don't think Theory's waking up any fans. Sorry to say.
No. Henry with a 2. I want to see Trick win Saturday. You're gonna keep wishing. That's not happening. Trick is great. Trick is gonna be a future champion, but not on Saturday. Lauren with a 5. Randy definitely has to win the Chamber. Just hoping WWE won't let Cody get the win. Do you think they will turn Orton the way that they did with Cena last year? Well, we talked about that. Jason has a good idea of him turning on Cody at the Chamber. I think before we get to WrestleMania, if not at the Chamber, at WrestleMania, I think in that time period, we do get a Randy Orton heel turn. I think that's what's best for business. Michael with a 2. I'm glad we all want Orton to win the title at WrestleMania 42. Yes, it's time. I think it's time. I think going back to Cody is the worst move you can make. R. Leon with a $1.99. Buy, rent, sell. Terminator 2, Dark Knight, or The Godfather Part 2.
Well, Dark Knight is my favorite movie of all time. So, you know what I'm buying there. I'll go Terminator 2 and then Godfather.
Yep, same for me. Dark Knight number 1, Terminator 2 second, and Godfather number 3. Base Bears for the 2. I'm sipping on Bombay tonight. You're a good man. I prefer, I don't mind Bombay gin. I actually prefer Irish gunpowder gin. I think that's my favorite. My guy, Dr. Evil Genius, with a $4.99. This is me paying JD to never yeet again. Genius, you missed me at the Royal Rumble post show. I went into a massive rant over the yeeting in the Rumble. But I think at that point you'd probably laugh at me because that was I was pretty animated there. Base Beers for the 2. I want a 20-minute Lesnar match. Make it worth it. 20 minutes. I don't think you get 20 minutes in a Lesnar all year. Never mind fucking one match.
If you add up the time of every match he will have this year, I don't even know if you'll be. You think we'll get the halfway mark of 20 minutes? Maybe
that's a good sub question. If we do get Brock and Oba, what do you think the maximum time is for a WrestleMania match? What, 7-8 minutes?
About 7 or 8. Yeah.
Okay. Robbie 618 with a $4.99. Triple H is the type of guy that would turn all the lights off and close all the doors before leaving it a burning building and then saying it's what we do. Yeah, I could see that. Rated RK 20 with a 279. Inside the crate is Triple H announcing a new era. Yeah. Again, a solid opinion there, no doubt about it.
Can you imagine if it's just like a way to debut like Joe Hendry or something on the main roster,
or something to do with the video game?
In what way?
I don't know. I have no idea. Maybe it's Stone Cold Steve Austin.
You know, of all the ideas, the horrible ideas that Austin has rejected over the years, I don't think he's going to listen to this one and go, "That's a great idea, son.
I don't know.
Put me in a fucking crate for 2 weeks. Just put his beer in there with him, and he'll be like a beer cooler, and he'll be all right."
I don't know. Base Beers for the 2. Vince swerves when he drives. Yes, especially if he's going 115 miles an hour. Sure. He should not be. He's lucky to be alive. He's lucky to be alive. On the day that Hulk passed away, of all days, he's lucky to be alive. Walker Stubbs with a $4.99. Hey, Mr. JD and Mr. Solo, I miss when the show opens with fireworks and the show theme song. Now they just show wrestlers walking in the arena. You know, Walker, I said that last night, bro. Michael Cole and Corey Graves, they were in the ring, bro. It was no reaction from the crowd. It almost sounded like they were at a church sermon last night. Like, what the fuck was that intro?
He's very much right about this, because every week we have the music playing in the background. What's the song now? Is it Eminem or whatever is the new theme song for the show?
Yeah.
They play the fucking song, and then all these people are doing the fake walk into the arena, where they're pretending to talk to somebody, or they're texting as they walk, or they're talking to each other. And it's like he makes a great point. Like, there was an energy to the show years ago where it would open, you had that kick-ass music, and then it was like bombs going off. Like, it was so loud, like the pyro and the concussions, they call them, like those loud sonic booms. And then a sea of signs, and everyone's excited and jumping up and down. What happened to that?
I don't know.
Where did that go?
I just want them to give me some fucking music to pump up the crowd, man. Something with some energy to it. Like, what is what we're getting? What is
I
this
don't know.
Monday night and Friday night? Who is it? Who does this appeal to? I don't know. I agree, Walker. 100%. NM with a $5 Super Chat. Solo, love your men's chamber idea. Would love to see Jacob win the strap. Post-Mania, he can spin off with Drew and Cody and feud with Randy. They got the top talent.
I'd love to see Jacob. Yeah, I'd love to see Jacob win it at some point. I just think that Orton's... They've done nothing with Orton for a while now.
No.
And I feel like they've been biding their time and waiting, and now is the time to strike. Like, it's all set up perfectly for him to turn on Cody and for him to be revealed as the mystery attacker, and then let him hold it for a while, and maybe at some point Jacob wins it off of him. Because again, I agree, you don't have to go right back to Cody with it. But it feels like right now this is going to be Orton's time.
We got a $5 Super Chat from Corporal Poon 69. Sap and his life-size Tony Khan blow-up doll are in the box. Wow, you got news for us, man, that nobody has broken yet. That's fantastic. I didn't know that. You guys are crazy, man. The Vision are cursed and dead. When you are TNT, you are TNT for life. Yeah. Thank you, Corporal. Base Bears with a 2. Masked Man attacked Fatu. It's the same guy. No. I do not think so. Boss Mo Jackson with the 199. Do you guys think that Theory has already hit his ceiling?
Yes.
Honestly, yeah. I don't think there was a high enough ceiling for him, honestly.
We had Paul Heyman on Busted Open the other day comparing him to Shawn Michaels and saying he's Shawn Michaels when he was still part of the Rockers before he split off on his own.
That's Paul Heyman must have taken something before that interview then. Holy shit. I don't know, man.
I mean, it's Paul Heyman being Paul Heyman. You know, he's got to talk up his guys. Does he believe all the things he says? No, but what he does.
B Punk with a 199. Maxxine looked like the dead Peter Griffin meme. Yeah, she did. Hopefully they learn to take this off television now because it's not doing anything to enhance the show. Michelle with the $5 super chat. If we are finally getting Finn or Dominic booted out of the Judgment Day, why not add Theory or Logan Paul to that group? And what does Punk do after Roman?
No, see, no. Keep them away from the Judgment Day. I feel like there are other people, either from NXT or new people that might be coming into the company that would be a better fit and would benefit more by being inserted into the Judgment Day.
Base Bears for the 2. Kind of crazy. Jade Scar ain't going nowhere.
It's fake, by the way.
Oh, is it? I didn't even notice it, honestly.
It's a fake scar.
Okay.
Yeah. I forgot what it was. It was a few months ago on social media. She was actually posting photos of her like in the makeup chair. And yeah, it's like they stick it on before she goes out there on TV.
A Jackson 884 with a 199. What flopped harder, Undisputed Kingdom or The Vision? Ooh, that's a good question.
Undisputed Kingdom definitely flopped hard. I guess it all depends. I mean, obviously the Vision was a much more important group. So it's all in, I guess, your own perspective on it. But I mean, Undisputed Kingdom was just a freaking epic fail.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd probably go
the Vision. They got some time out of the Vision before it went belly up here.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, the Undisputed Kingdom ruined MJF's momentum that year. I mean, after that, he took some time off, came back. They didn't know what to do with him when he came back. He was like in the middle of nothing. And then the Vision, I mean, Rollins going down with injury drastically changed the WrestleMania plans. We talked about it a couple weeks ago. It's supposed to be Rollins and Roman and then Punk and Cody. Now look at what we got. We got a conglomeration of guys on SmackDown and then Punk and Roman. So, I don't know. It's a good question. Matty Boom with a 499. Be honest with yourself. How many people can main event night 2 with anyone? Only one, Roman Reigns. Triple H can't develop big stars. By the way, howdy's the GOATs. Roman is still the biggest match that anybody can have in that company, and it's going to be that way for a while. I agree with that. And Uncle Howdy is not the GOAT. I think Uncle Howdy is... I think Bo Dallas has played a great fill-in as leader of the Wyatt family. But the overall group is boring. Lennon with a 20. JD, if you don't like Creed, you are toxic. I do like Creed. They're called Alter Bridge. Some of you guys don't know that. Face Beers with a $2 super chat. Claire Lynch for Hall of Fame 2026.
Maybe. I was going to say, never mind.
Lennon with a 20 in Mexican pesos. Who do you think?
The woman who portrayed Claire Lynch is no longer with us. So.
Who do you think should induct AJ? I think John Cena. Yes, we talked about that earlier. John Cena would be a great get. If not Cena, Undertaker. J-Ray with a $5 super chat. Shout out to JD for admitting on his Raw review that AEW is putting on better television than WWE right now. AEW is making things feel important. I said it again tonight. It's not that difficult to say when WWE's television is this fucking terrible.
Look, when WWE is boring like this, it's an opportunity for others to really step up and take advantage of that.
Yep. Base Bears with a $2 super chat. I'm not going to sing it the way that it came off on the CD because I think we both very much had the CD. Whoa, WrestleMania. Who will survive? Those are the days, man, you know? Pop in that.
That was an awful rendition. I did a better job in karaoke of doing Ball with the Ball than you just did.
Well, I got a fucking metal band playing in my headset, and I got to sing WrestleMania's theme song.
God, sounds like a dying animal. Oh, God.
Oh, man. Arcade the Hedgehog with a $5 super chat. Hey, JD and Solomar, so do you think that the DeLorean would be famous by a movie and not by You know, I'm not even reading that, Arcade. I mean, fuck, come on now. Come on, man. $5 super chat. Thank you. We'll leave the Tony disgust for another time, okay? He's putting on decent television. Base Beers for the $2 super chat. Travis Scott is in the crate. Return of the Fiend. No. We don't need Travis Scott. Travis Scott is banished from WWE. He's gone. He didn't want to show up and work, and goodbye. RKO, Michael Krause, $2 super chat. Travis Scott can be the one to make WrestleMania better. LO. I don't know where you guys are getting this from. One starts it and the rest follow. No. Chicago 4 MBK with a $10 super chat. I feel that even though WWE was a publicly traded company with Vince maintaining control, there was more care put into creative and catering to the fans. Now it's shit stories and overpriced tickets. Where are you guys getting this narrative from? Vince booked for himself, and the people that work for Vince booked for Vince. They didn't give a fuck about us.
Yeah, it was an audience of one.
I don't believe it, man.
I mean, he at least, in terms of tickets, he at least, realized that he didn't want to leave families out. He was smart enough to realize that, you make fans out of those kids grow up, and then, their kids watch wrestling. So he was trying to be careful not to price out families, although prices would have gone up anyway, but not like this.
Yeah.
But yeah, when it comes to creative, I don't know. I mean, there's some delusion going on here.
He's not coming back, guys. Put it to rest. Jeff with a $20 super chat. Hey, fellas, going by what I heard on the Coach and Bro show Monday, Coach said his sources, I'm assuming works at WWE, told him talks have already started internally for Saudi to buy company and Vince silent partner. Both your thoughts. Again, is this where it got started? There's no truth to this story, guys. No truth whatsoever. If anybody knows anything, it's not going to be Coach and Bro. Just telling you right now. Marshall D with a $9.99. Hey guys, I'm traveling to the Philippines this weekend, but just know I'm still making time to catch both Solo and JD's Elimination Chamber review. I am not missing that. Love it.
Smart man.
Love it, Marshall. Thank you. Also with a $4.99. I'll have my Express VPN ready this weekend, Solo. Thanks for the code.
You better take advantage of that, man. We got another European tour coming up in a couple of months. It's going to come in very handy. There'll be some early show. Was it May and June? Right? Yeah. They're going to the UK. They're going to Portugal. They're going to Italy. Yep. We're going to get some 2:00 in the afternoon Raws again. So
great.
Get ready.
Great. Derek with a $1 super chat. No message. Thank you, Derek. Pablo Montoya with a $9.99. What do you guys think about the Mania match for the WWE title being a fatal four-way elimination match? Sort of whoever first two gets out and have Cody, Randy, final two fighting to close Mania with the heel turn there. I don't know, Jason, elimination match or just the traditional one fall to a finish?
I wouldn't mind an elimination match.
Okay. That means McIntyre's got to lose the title on the way to the final pinfall there.
Well, that's the thing. Like it would force WWE to do something they hate doing because they have to protect everybody at all times. They would have to beat them. Yeah. So that's the only thing. But I don't think I would mind an elimination style.
I like it. Marshall with a $4.99 just looked at SeatGeek for Elimination Chamber tickets. One person front row going for $7,000. Yeah, good luck with that. For what they have advertised for their show? No.
It has nothing to do with that. Dude, for $7,000, I don't care if you dig up the corpse of Macho Man Randy Savage and you put him in the ring, like the mother of all dream matches up and down the card. I ain't paying $7,000 to sit in the front row for it.
No.
Let alone the Elimination Chamber.
Zeno with a 20. What if they turn Vision's injuries into a storyline promo? Seth comes back, starts his promo like, wow, karma's a bitch, ain't it? You see what happens when you get impatient? Good things come to those who wait. Ha ha.
And then like a beam from like Final Destination style from like the top of the arena falls and like collapses on top of him. Because why would you continue to tempt fate like this?
No.
Don't laugh in the face of fate. Just kind of accept it and move on, and don't piss off the gods. Okay, they've had enough injury issues. We don't need Seth cackling and laughing in the face of whatever's going on here. I just picture Final Destination style, like something becomes like unhinged on like the top part of the arena. This piece falls, that piece falls. Seth's in the middle of cutting his promo, and then all of us he looks up and like the fucking beam falls on top of him or something.
Something.
At this point,
didn't Alexa Bliss do that with Randy Orton down at the Thunderdome, where fire was coming down from the sky and fucking lighting beams were falling down on top of him? Evil Alexa.
What?
Yeah.
No, she threw a fireball in his face. I don't remember shit falling down.
Shit falling down on him. Yeah, I remember that.
No, I don't know about that.
Chad, am I going crazy? Didn't Randy Orton have a lighting beam fall on top of him almost?
He had a fireball thrown in his face.
Yes, I remember that, but it was the same episode. It was legitimately before he had the fireball thrown in his face. I know something like that happened. She was manipulating lighting beams and whatnot, casting magic over Randy Orton.
I think you have a very vivid imagination is what you have there.
Zeno, thank you. Marshall with the $4.99. I'm not paying $7,000 to see effing Jey Uso yeet and run it back. Oh, it's Fastlane 2021. He said, I knew I remembered something.
What happened at Fastlane 2020? I have no memory of this whatsoever. What happened? What was the main event of Fastlane?
In 2021? I don't know.
Are you saying the main event of Fastlane was Randy Orton against Alexa Bliss?
What happened at Fastlane, chat? The fireball or the lighting beam falling down? One or the other.
I gotta look this up.
What's in my drink? Nothing's in my drink. I'm not even drinking tonight.
I'm telling you, he's got a very vivid imagination here. Let's see. Fastlane 2021. It was at the Thunderdome. This was the card. Oh, what a card this was.
Roman versus Bryan.
On the pre-show, we had Riddle beating Mustafa Ali.
All right.
Who was part of Mace, Reckoning, Slapjack, and T-Bar.
Oh, my God.
We had Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler with Reginald defeating Bianca Belair and Sasha Banks. We had Big E beating Apollo Crews.
Huh?
Braun Strowman beating Elias with Jackson Riker. Seth Rollins beating Shinsuke Nakamura. I want you to know we've already hit 5 matches. We're not done yet.
I'm like, how many more are there?
Drew McIntyre beating Sheamus. Alexa Bliss beat Randy fucking Orton. Look at this. They had a singles match, intergender match.
Yes.
She pinned Randy Orton?
Yes, lighting beams fell from the ceiling. Yes.
And then Roman Reigns beat Daniel Bryan.
Whoa. How many more is that? 9 matches? 8 matches? What is that?
Eight matches.
Holy shit. Man, those are the days, huh? Elimination Chamber at 8 matches. What, we got 4 in a crate?
Literally half. We have literally half a show.
$7,000 for 4 matches in a crate.
Yes.
Does anybody know what the price ticket was for an Elimination Chamber ticket back in 2021?
Yeah, it was $0. It was the fucking Thunderdome, dude.
Oh, my God. Ryan with a $1.99. Any guesses for what Jay will botch in the match? I don't know. There's one every match. We'll see what happens. Base Beerus with a 2. They pushed Jay because of merch, but not Rusev Day. No. Now, Rusev Day was never supposed to be over. It got over, and then Vince killed it because it wasn't on the plans of things to push. I am Batman 6201 with a $20 super chat. Greatest stream. You guys are the best. Pinhead Hellraiser is in the mystery box, and he's holding the metal puzzle box. Pinhead can undo the metal box and fix WWE and its creative. Listen, if that's in the mystery box, I am all for that. Caden with a $1.99. No message. Thank you, Caden. Marcus with a $2 super chat. Favorite song, Creed, is Bullets. That's a good one. It's still not better than What If, though. Pablo Montoya with a $1.99. Okada defeated Eddie Kingston in Eliminator and title. Oh, well, there you go. I didn't know that. Forgot about that one.
There's actually a Creed. Oh, God, what was it? There was a Creed song, Weathered. That was pretty good.
Yes, that's a good one, too. Yeah. Robbie with a 199. Enjoying Stranger Things, JD. Season 5, episode 4 was peak. Yes, I stopped. Well, the snowstorm obviously kept us trapped. And I watched, Sunday night, I watched 5 episodes of season 5. The scene in season 4 where Eddie played Master of Puppets. Excellent scene. One of my favorite scenes. Eddie's death actually hit me a little hard because Eddie was he was one of my favorite characters on the show, and Dustin having the metal the necklace with the guitar pick, and he gave it to his uncle at the shelter was kind of sad. And then the scene where Vecna came out of the portal and destroyed all of the army and military personnel, and he's like reformed, and he's just fucking, everybody's dying, and there's a bunch of demigorgons everywhere. That was an incredible scene. And then Will kind of stopped him. That was an incredible scene. So, yeah, I don't know where we're going from here. I got 5 episodes in. I'll watch the rest this week, I think. So, I don't know what to expect. I heard very, very mixed results on the ending here. I don't know what to expect. Any warning before I go into the final 5 episodes?
I don't want to spoil anything.
Oh, okay.
No. I think just don't go by anyone else's opinion and just judge it on your own opinions and your own merits.
All right. As of right now, though, I would rank it as one of the more enjoyable shows that I've ever watched. It's up there with Breaking Bad. So I still have to. I don't know what I'm going to watch next. Apparently, I got to watch The Sopranos. So,
well, that should have been what you watched previously.
Yeah. Yes.
But yes, that should be next.
We will get to that. But thank you, Robbie. Venom Supreme with a 5. Division didn't see these injuries coming. I like the cake batter donut from Krispy Kreme and a fresh hot glaze from Krispy Kreme. Well, thank you, Kal-El. Appreciate you, brother. Mustangs rule. Furious Nation with a 499. What's up, JD and Solo? Not looking forward to next week's snowstorm. Makes me miss the spring, summer, to be honest. Listen, I don't want to hear anything about snow, okay? Hopefully it is nothing more than an inch or flurries. If I can't take another mass accumulation. Furious, thank you, brother. J-Ray with a 5. Hey, Commissioner Solo, when are you booking JD for a match with House of Glory? After the go-away he to receive that Friday show, now is the time. I don't wrestle, okay? I don't want to wrestle. I don't care to wrestle. Jason makes the matches. He gets the real talent for the shows. So we'll just keep it at that.
Well, if I want you to wrestle, then you'll damn well wrestle. So.
Sure, yes.
You're pissing me off, and that may be how we play this.
Yeah, I know. Don't piss off the commish. B Money 04 with the new membership. Thank you, B Money. Harpreet with a 699. What are your thoughts on Aleister Black winning the WWE title later this year if built properly? Also, NET on Solo. Jeff Cobb, WWE running. What is this? NET on a solo Jeff Cobb run in WWE. Oh, no. No, we don't care to see that. I don't know what Jason feels about a solo Jeff Cobb run. He'd have to speak.
I'd rather they actually like flesh out his character a little bit more to get me to care about him. And then as far as did he say Aleister Black getting a WWE title run?
He did, yes.
Not happening.
No. You got a lot of work to do there to make me believe. Hollywood guy with an, the funny thing is, I could have seen him as an AEW World Champion when he came in if they built him up properly, but since then, no.
Yeah, the way they pushed him right out of the gate, absolutely.
Yeah. Hollywood guy with a 5. VKM or Travis Scott is in the box. Ha ha ha. Maybe it's the Boogeyman. Why would the Boogeyman be in the box in February? You would think it's Halloween, right? No.
Yeah, because they're devoid of ideas.
Can't please.
That's why. I mean, if not Danhausen, legitimately, what else could it be?
I don't know.
Who or what else could it possibly be? What are we not thinking of?
Now, we've thought of everything. It's going to be Danhausen and R-Truth. Watch. R-Truth's going to find his way out into this segment. I guarantee it. Pablo with a 499. On a topic of paranormal, what ghost shows, documentaries are good? I'm a fan of Ghost Adventures, but that's about it. Ghost Adventures is the one for me, man. It's the tops. I think they've gotten better with age. They've got 27 seasons. I mean, Zach Bagans is great at what he does. So I say stick to that. Everybody else is just kind of a copycat. They're the originators, so stick with them. Walker Stubbs with a 199. In the box is Triple H's thoughts and prayers. Now, we need thoughts and prayers for our own sanity to watch this show weekly. King Kong Forever with a $2.99, sending love and best wishes to both of you. Well, thank you, King Kong Forever.
Thank you.
It's quite the message there. We got a few here. I lost. Oh, there you go. Kenny Clifford, $5 super chat. Yo, JD Solo, blind people would be totally lost on which superstar is going to the ring based on a superstar's entrance music if it's changed. Yeah, it's pretty awful. I don't know if that change is coming, but hopefully it's imminent. I still feel I cringe with cold sweats when Stephanie Vaquer comes out. It's awful.
Or Jordan Grace.
Yeah. Who do we got? Ken with a $4.99. Backstreet Boys or NSYNC? I'm gonna go Backstreet Boys.
I'm gonna go NSYNC.
Okay. Marshall D with a $4.99. Are fans even allowed to bring signs to WWE events now? I feel like they would confiscate them. There was a time where they had sign of the night. I don't know. They did away with that.
They still
apparently.
do it.
They do?
No,
Okay.
I think they still do it.
Okay. No, they're not banned, but don't do anything that will get your sign taken away. That's just what needs to happen. Venom Supreme, $5 super chat. Here's a horrible thought. Brock is the new Vision leader. Brock is the leader of the Vision? No.
Well, in order to be a leader of a group, you need to be there on television. So
yeah, not happening.
That will not happen.
Lennon, Brock versus Oba. Who's putting who over? Brock is putting Oba over. We do not want anything else. $4.99 Marshall. Hey guys, do y'all remember the 2011 Raw intro with Nickelback? Were you fans of it? That era just hit different. I hate Nickelback, but I would take Nickelback over whatever the theme music is now. Yeah.
I like the Nickelback intro.
Yeah, it was good. I like Shinedown. Shinedown was a good one too. Crazy Men with $5 super chat. I know a couple of people in creative, and they said a major issue is Netflix and USA want specific stars on their show, and WWE wants to change people's brands. This has been an issue for the longest. Same thing with USA and Fox. I mean, this is what happens when WWE wants to split the brands. Not surprised that that's the case. Marshall with a $4.99. Okay, what was the whole Maxxine playing dead angle last night? Nattie is supposed to be a fierce competitor. I don't know what else to tell you. Furious Nation with a $9.99. I feel like some of Vince's poisons are sadly still there. Bruce, Road Dogg, Michael Hayes, Ed Koski. They're honestly lucky to still be there, and don't help that they are there. Get them out. Yeah, good luck with that. Bruce ain't going anywhere. He'll be like Vince. He'll be fucking dead in the chair next to Triple H. Joker Face with a $1.99. JD, did you listen to Hybrid Theory yet? I have not. When the weather gets nice and the Dark Horse is removed from its dungeon, I will put it in the Dark Horse. Marshall with a $4.99. Side note, as of today, there are 249 days until Halloween. That's Jason's favorite holiday.
It is.
Cody Snyder with a $5. Solomonson resembles Jack Swagger, not Jake Hager, Jack Swagger, going back to 2010 here. I do not see the resemblance. How you feel about being compared to him?
Well, I mean, it's not the first time I've been compared to him. I've been compared to multiple white people over the years. Apparently, I look like everybody. I want to say, I think it was, God, who did Kofi compare me to? When I did interviews as part of Radio Row for WrestleMania in Miami, when they did the first Rock Cena match, Kofi came over. They were shooting a vlog with him. And I think I was interviewing Shawn Michaels or something. And Kofi came over and he either said I look like Swagger or I look like John Laurinaitis. It was one or the other. Either way, I was offended. I was deeply wounded by this.
Oh, man.
So, yeah, it's not the first time I've heard that comparison.
Did you give him a people power?
I was in the middle of an interview. I no-sold it. I was like, thank you very much.
Lennon with a $20 super chat. Ryback is in the crate. I would take Ryback over anything we've discussed so far, honestly.
I don't think Ryback would fit in the crate.
I don't know. Hey, we'll get Ryback versus Royce Keys at WrestleMania, maybe. I don't know.
Oh, yeah. Why would you do that to Royce?
No. Marshall with the $1.99. For $7K, I could buy a used Honda Civic. Yes. You could. Furious Nation, $4.99. Also, JD, very happy you're back with House of Glory. And man, is ACW Aftershock looking stacked. They just added JBL and Lex Luger to the show. I saw that. Yeah, they're doing good stuff over there. I think they got something going on with MCW too, coming up. Logan with a $9.99. What do you all think would have happened if John Cena had an 8-month injury happen in 2025? Do you think they would have pushed back the December retirement to Mania or further to bunch updates? Yeah, what do you think would happen if he got injured, Jason, during his retirement tour?
I mean, they would have pushed it back. Yeah, I mean, he would have wanted to give a proper retirement match for them, so they would have just had to reschedule it. It's not like, oh well, I got hurt, I guess that's it. This is how my career comes to an end. Like, they would have just had to push it back. Where it becomes complicated is, how does that affect his other commitments at that point? It would have been a disaster if that would have happened.
Michael Krause with the $2 Super Chat. Jason, how many titles do you have on your wall?
Just the 2 that you see.
Furious Nation with a $9.99. Those who want Vince back are absolutely mental and must have forgotten WWE in 2018 and 19. Triple H may have been playing it safe the past year, but Vince booked for himself. Nobody wants Vince there. No? You're looking at 2 guys who don't want him there ever again. Scotty with a $4.99. Lucky Charms. The Lucky Charms rig drops on Rollins like patches from Dodgeball and Solo bareback champion. I spoke to Zilla and he loves working at Hog. UK Hog show in the future.
Go back to this part where my name was mentioned and bareback was mentioned in the same sentence. What was that?
The Lucky Charms rig drops on Rollins like patches from Dodgeball and Solo bareback champion. I have no idea what that means, bro.
I don't know. I don't know what to say. It reminds me of that guy that they showed in the crowd though on Raw that one time, who was the bareback champion. What was his name?
What was it was like a cool name too, right? It was like
a wrestler name.
It was like Maximus or something like that, right?
What? No.
Like Duke?
I just typed like this is the I can only imagine now. I typed this into Google. I wrote WWE Raw WWE Raw bareback champion is what I wrote in my search engine. So that's gonna be great. And it goes, there is no such title in WWE as the Raw bareback champion. But then underneath it says, based on the search results, this appears to be a confusion with Rocker Steiner, who is the 2025 Professional Rodeo Cowboys Association World Bareback Riding Champion. Yes, I am aware there is no Raw bareback. Oh, my God. Oh, no. Oh, jeez.
Yes, Rocker Steiner was his name. Yes,
Rocker. Anyway, yes, Rocker Steiner was his name. Yes, that was hardly worth the search, but there you go.
Don't give them any ideas. We don't need any more champions, especially a bareback champion. I know Genius is somewhere watching, saying pause at his TV screen.
Not just a bareback champion, a Raw bareback champion. That's like the worst kind.
Oh no! Oh no! Oh. Scotty, thank you, brother. See what happens. And a Hog UK show, man. Listen, never say never.
We don't have those titles in House of Glory. You don't have to worry about that.
No. Dr. Evil Genius with the 199. JD's Stranger Things favorite scene, rainbow announcement. Oh, I know the announcement's coming. Well, I think a lot of people made a big deal about that scene. I'm not too concerned about that. Harpreet with a 279. Saddest The Walking Dead death, Carl or Glenn? Shane was so lit. Shane was
Glenn.
Great. Yeah, Glenn, because Maggie was with Child and
dude, his eye was that. It was popping out of his fucking head. I mean, how is this even a question?
I know. Marshall with a 499. Are you guys fans of the old Elimination Chamber design? I am, but the talent is not. The new one is a lot safer. Why does YouTube keep forwarding me? Here we go. Dev Guy with a 999. Sorry, I just joined the stream, but do you see McIntyre getting in the chamber, hitting a Claymore on Cody, Jacob, and Orton? That leads to the Fatal 4-Way. Well, Jacob's not in the chamber, so he's not.
Yeah, he's not in there.
Yeah,
he's not in there.
But yeah, I could see something like that. I think it's more likely that he does that now because the Masked Man doesn't have Bronson Reed to go in there and attack. So we'll see. It's going to be interesting. Crazy Men with a $5 super chat. Rhea beats Jade at Mania. Bianca returns at or after Mania. Goes heel because of what Rhea did last Mania. SummerSlam main event. Also, Bad Bunny is in the box. Well, I mean, are you making predictions, or is this going back to the people that you know at WWE? Because Rhea and Bianca is still definitely tapped when Bianca gets back, for sure. And Bad Bunny in the box. I mean, they gotta work their magic for that to happen. I don't know. Hollywood guy with a $5 super chat. Where is the Miro push? Now, where is it, Jason? You know where it is?
Who's this Miro that you speak of?
I don't know.
I don't know a Miro.
What brand is he on?
I know Rusev.
Venom Supreme with a $2 super chat. Arms Wide Open was an outstanding Creed song. Yeah. Generic rock. Generic radio rock. Nothing crazy about it. Furious Nation with a $9.99. I can't stand those seagulls, man. I was at the Wildwood Crest, New Jersey boardwalk in 2024. My best friend is wearing an LA Knight vest and a seagull shit on it. It was so terrible. Yeah, I brought up seagulls last night because didn't Dominic call Jade Cargill last night?
No, I thought no. So what I thought he did was what Joe Tessitore does every single week, and it drives me crazy because he calls her Jade Cargill, like gargle, and I'm like, that's not her fucking name. Like, that's what I heard last night. I thought he called her Jade Cargill. It's like, no, it's Cargill. It's not that hard to say. Cargill.
Dr. Evil Genius with a $4.99. What are you doing to keep the battery in the Dark Horse healthy? You don't drive it often. I run it. I go out there when I can. If the snow is blocking the garage, I can't get in there now, but I let it run. I'm not going to take it out on the streets, brother. The streets have been filled with salt for the last two and a half months. No. I'd rather
buy ice.
Yeah, I'd rather buy a new battery than fucking take it on the salt. No. Marshall with a $4.99. Were y'all fans of Saliva back at the 2002 Elimination Chamber? That theme hit different. I don't remember that.
Yeah, I like that song. That was the Madison Square Garden show. What was the song?
I don't know.
It wasn't Click Click Boom.
Could be. Isn't that's not a Saliva song?
It is, but that's not the one they used. Let me see here. It was WrestleMania 23 that they used the Ladies and Gentlemen song. So I remember that. Saliva, Survivor Series 2002, Always. Yeah, their song Always. That was the official theme, and that's actually a good song.
Yeah, I don't remember that. Nathan with a $5 super chat. Heidenreich is in the crate with a Valentine's Day poem.
Heidenreich, apparently someone found him. He's working at Walmart now.
Good for him.
Yeah.
Cody Snyder with $2 super chat. Jason does not resemble John Laurinaitis. No, he does not.
Thank you.
That's an awful, awful thing to say. Alex with a $5 super chat. Brother JD and Soul, at what point does Ari Emanuel get on the phone and call The Rock again? Any chance that they're just stalling until next year's Mania? Well, I mean, if you listen to Paul Heyman on Busted Open, he says he wants to book backwards and set up next year's WrestleMania with this year's WrestleMania, but I don't know.
They're booking backwards, all right.
Yes, they are. Listen, The Rock is going to be there when he can be there. I don't see that happening. Scotty with a $1.99. Solo was the new bareback champion. He won it at House of Glory. No, please. We don't need anything resembling that anywhere. Chat says always. Yes, we found it out. Thank you, chat. Chris J Productions with a $1.99. Solomon versus JD in a strap match at WrestleMania 42. No, I do not wrestle.
I was just watching. They had the White Castle of Fear strap match from Super Brawl with Sting and Vader from '93, and I had forgotten that because Sting is whipping him with the strap, and Vader rolls out to the floor, and I had forgotten that Harley Race actually bladed Vader's back because Vader was like all of a sudden he's bleeding from the back, and I'm like, Sting wasn't hitting him that hard. But like if you watch it, you can clearly see like Harley Race is like just slicing his fucking back open. I'm like, oh my god.
Venom Supreme with a $2 super chat. Lucifer on Netflix is my favorite. Yeah, I heard good things about that.
And you want to watch a great show on Netflix? It's called Dark. It's a German show. And that's a very good show.
Well, I need some recommendations after this next coming week or next week. I'll be done with Stranger Things. Indigo, 62 months. Thank you, brother. Hey, JD Jason, showing some love. Another banger episode of TNT. Hope you guys are well. Can't wait to hang out with you at House of Glory again. Come on through, brother. Come on through. And Marshall with a $4.99. I saw the Elimination Chamber from SummerSlam 2003. Did you guys think Goldberg should have won the world title then?
At SummerSlam? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I'm not a fan, but yes, he should have won the title there. Yes.
That finish was ridiculous.
Yeah, that was not good.
Comes charging in for a spear. Triple H hits him in the head with a fucking sledgehammer and pins him so that they could do a one-on-one match, which was not nearly as good the next month. And this was Triple H when he was wearing his really tight biker shorts because he had a torn groin. He looked completely ridiculous. Like, he had no beard. So, like, clean-shaven Triple H with these fucking tight-ass biker shorts. And they just had a very boring match at Unforgiven. He should have won the belt in the Chamber.
We got one more here from Alex, $2 Super Chat. Any updates on the SmackDown content from Peacock? Yes, I read that it's leaving soon, Jason. Do you know when? I think the next couple of weeks,
It
right?
is leaving in 3 weeks.
There you go.
So you have 21 days. Apparently, the content from December of 2025 through now, there's no indication on there that that's leaving, because we all know how anxious you all are to watch SmackDown from December of last year.
Oh, man.
But all the SmackDowns from before that back to 99, you got 3 weeks, and there's no indication of where it's going. It's going into the ether.
And Ash with the $2 Super Chat. Thank you, brother. Appreciate you coming on here. And thank you guys for a great TNT. Honestly, great show. You guys killed it with the Super Dash, man. The support tonight was fucking insane. Thank you very much. And we'll leave it with the Solomonster, as always, to sound us off for a great episode 136.
Well, I was just going to point out, there were a lot of WWE stars that were up in arms that Tom Brady was on Logan Paul's podcast a few weeks ago, and he called WWE cute. He said, "Oh yeah, you do that WWE thing. That's cute." And I just thought, does that extend to wrestling podcasters? Because I think I'm pretty cute.
I don't know. It's a good question.
I think so.
What about me? I'm not cute. I don't fall into that category?
No.
Okay, we'll leave it at that. Thank you.
You're the opposite of that.
Thank you guys for a great show. Maestro, the 199. I mean, Adam Cole, ABNKK. I wish I could remember what you said before. I don't. I'm sorry, bro.
That was the one where he said if Triple H was in charge in 2021, would he have released all these former NXT champions?
No, Adam Cole would have not been released, no.
KK Karrion Kross. Who's AB?
AB.
Oh, Aleister Black.
Aleister Black, yeah.
Okay.
No, I don't think those two would have been released. I don't think any of them would have been released, honestly. No.
There would have been releases, but would he have tried to protect those guys? Some of them. Some of them.
Yeah. Anyway, guys, thank you for a great night. We will see you back next week. Chamber, Saturday, we'll be live. And then you know where we're discussing it, not only on our channels, but next week here on Tuesday Night Titans. The Thundering guys, thank you very much. And we'll see you next Tuesday for episode 137 on TNT.